Hello,
Okay, hello?
and welcome. Hello, this is not right. Now it's
Yeah, we're
right.
Still having a sound time over here.
Uh,
I'm going to disconnect and then
it
reconnect.
is Grenade, and Mars is having scuff, as is wont to happen, apparently. But, yes, hello, welcome. We are doing, thingies today, and I was trying to get, picatures. Oh, that one's funny. Trying to get pictures for this
Oh,
thing
that's
we're
much
doing.
better.
Yeah,
Okay,
so that's
you
a
need
Discord
hard
thing.
reset.
So that's a Discord thing that happens where it suddenly starts making it a headset for some god unknown reason. I do not know why. It just does it, and it's
God,
stupid.
that sounded terrible.
And it's dumb. Yeah.
Oh, that gave me a headache.
I'm like, yeah, no, that's you. It's not me.
That was bad. Oh, my head.
Well, now she knows how to fix it. But hello, everything.
That I do.
Great fan of thingies. Hello, MP. Hello, Mason. I said hello, Grenade, but I'll say it again. Yes, today we're doing
fan of thingies.
mammal anatomy. So in the next part of my course that I have taken on character design, there's mammal anatomy. Oh, those are so cute. Jesus Christ. And I am attempting to do that. And so I've picked a bunch of mammals, and I'm just trying to get some final images of them. And now, while in the course, he specifically went over, like, you know, much more general common types of... Hey, JJS.
Ah, hello.
No birds. No, it is
Welcome,
currently
welcome.
just mammals, Grenade. And the reason is that because humans are mammals. That's the main reason as to why.
I never got a chance to say because I was having scuff. Hello, MP. Hello, Mason. Hello, Grenade.
Hello, Pastry Puff.
Hello, Pastry
Rioting.
Puff.
No rioting here.
And JJS. Welcome, welcome.
But so we have, of course, a number of mammals. I have chosen mammals specifically that have relevance to things I may be doing, whether they are characters that have been created, like the fossa. Yeah, whether they are characters that have yet to be seen, or Pathfinder NPC, not NPCs, Pathfinder characters.
This is all sneaky comic time.
There's some sneaky comic time, and then there's character art for TTRPG characters. So I have
So
ambition. I have ambition. We'll see how far we get. We'll see how much we do, and that's kind of how it's gonna roll.
We'll go from there.
We'll
take it from there.
I've got to bring up the timer.
Oh, it's the grand return.
Yes, the timer. I will say, I enjoy the little, like, theme we have going on our streaming thing. We have, like, the tea timer. We have the little spoiler card thing. It's all great. It's all nice.
I quite like it.
Yeah. So, of course, for sketching fossa, there's a specific color we must use, because we're of the boy. But so, I think my first step I'm gonna do is quickly kind of map out the bones on the fossa and just kind of get an idea. So we kind of have your shoulder, but I'm gonna try to go in the order that CritBit went in. So we have the head, and so the fossa is longer than a normal cat head, but kind of shorter than like a dog head. It's in the middle because it's neither. It's its own thing. Okay. And it has the ears, but we're not dealing with that. And the eye. And then it has the neck. And the neck kind of, you see here, it kind of swoops in and then you see that? It kind of goes whoop. He's got a little tufty right here. That's interesting to note. And we have the sort of chest that comes here. And we have the shoulder. Now, the way that, like, mammals work, like quadrupeds like this, is that this is kind of like a shoulder bit. So this is like a whole bone thing here, and it comes down to here. And you have the elbow. And now this was something I learned specifically. The elbow is always shorter than you think it is. It actually lines right up with the chest 90% of the time. See how like the elbow is right there with where the chest line is?
Oh, look at that.
And then this part, the forearm, is longer than the shoulder, the upper arm portion. How's Dylan? Dylan's good. Dylan's been going good, having a good time. He had a good day at work today.
Oh, yay.
And then we have the foot. And now fossas are not... First of all, as you can see here on this one, fossas do have all their toes usually. You can see the dew here, and then the 4 fingers. And you can see they're kind of like wonky, how they're like the angles, kind of wonky angles. And you can also see here, kind of on their back foot, they have the 5 toes here as well. They have the dew and the 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's kind of neat, kind of interesting. So the dew is on the inside. And then you have here, because the dew is basically the thumb. It's very interesting stuff like that. So now a cool thing to think about is all mammals have 5 fingers, kind of. And by that I mean is that they all started with 5 fingers. And if they don't visibly have 5 fingers, it's because something happened to one of the fingers. Sometimes they fuse together. Sometimes they get down into nubbins, you know, little bumps. On a lot of dogs and cats, we remove specifically the back leg dew claw, because it's usually kind of like up here somewhere, and it just gets caught on a lot of stuff and it doesn't do anything, and it gets like infected and has problems a lot of the time. So we actually usually remove it, just how we would remove a 6th finger on like on a human, because they're usually nubbins and they just are more problems than they're worth. Cool human fact, the dominant gene is to have 6 fingers, and it is actually the recessive gene to only have 5 fingers. And what's interesting about that is the fact that, so that means the majority of people only have 5 fingers and can only ever have 5 fingers. But if you had 6 fingers at birth and one was removed, you are most likely hetero, you know, like, you have a dominant and a recessive gene, most likely, just statistically. So there is a chance that your child will also have 6 fingers at birth. But some people never know they had 6 fingers at birth because they're removed at birth. And that's, and some people just never tell anybody.
It's revealed.
Mm-hmm. Unless you don't think about like telling anybody, you know, oh yeah, by the way, you know, you had 6 fingers.
Why would you think to ask too? It's not like you walk up to your parents and just be like, "Hey, mom, dad, quick question. Did I have 6 fingers when I was born?"
But that might be something to do if you're planning on having children, just so you can kind of expect it if it is a thing. So then we move down to the lumbar. And you have like the tummy here. Look, the fossa has a little bit of a tummy pouch. It's similar to cats in that way. For this stretch, you can really see this skin stretch line here. And you can actually see like the leg here. And this is like a big flap of skin kind of happening in this like triangle-y area. You can see that. But then you have, this is like the hip up here. And you have down to the knee. And so this is interesting. While the knee is usually right about the same level as the elbow, because of the way the body works, it's usually longer than the elbow is. The upper arm is. And then you have
interesting.
The calf. You can see he's fluffy back here. They got them legs. Look at the thick legs.
Ooh, they be thick, guys. Now you know where Ferrex gets his thickness
Yeah,
from.
Exactly, MP. He would have passed it on, almost definitely. I think what's the math? If his partner was fully recessive, then I think the math is 1/4 of his children would have the 6 fingers. I think that's the math. Because it
Yeah,
is
that sounds right.
it is a simple Punnett square with 6 fingers.
Thank God.
Yeah. And then you have, this is all the foot. This whole section is the foot. Okay? And so you have the foot, and then you have the toes. And so, yeah. So you can do that. So you have a little belly here. Yep, so the knee is somewhere around here. All right, we want it to be the same level. And we have the forearm. See, what's interesting, MP, is that when I was taught about this in genetics, it was never referenced to toes. It was only ever referenced about fingers. So I'm not actually sure. Because it does seem like you could have 6 fingers and not have 6 toes, you know? So it looks like the fossa here has a little bit of like a pooch here. And then we get the tail, which is as long as its body. That's why Ferrex's tail is so long. Because literally, it's as long as their body. Because it's a counterbalance weight. And the ears, we got very round ears. Small and this sort of butterfly-y roundness to them. You can see here. Can go here. Yeah, look at this little like butterfly cone to it. Kind of fan out here.
Ooh. Very lovely.
Like that. All right. So now that we've kind of gone over the fossa a little bit, my next plan...
We've reviewed our fossa.
Yeah. Is to try and now do figure drawings of these images over on the side here. And that's what the timer's for. If you have any animal questions or facts, just in general, I do have a biology degree, and I did take mammal-specific courses as well as evolution and other stuff, so I may know the answer to the question, no guarantees. But we could have a chat.
Or a decent amount. I'm not as
fancy. Or we can talk about whatever.
I have an Animal Planet-based education, so there's that.
For animals specifically, Mars has higher education for non-animal related things.
Yes, that is very important to note. But tonight is not a speech night; it's an animal night.
I will say, very funnily though, the artist that I'm following the thing of definitely pronounced a few words wrong, which I was like, and like blatantly wrong, not like accent thing, and I was just like, this is interesting. You know, I don't know if English is your second language or not. Like, I don't know.
What words were we saying?
I'm trying to remember. It was like it was something with where it was you have like perception. You can not perception. You can something distance. And I think
perception?
Yeah, but I think the word that he tried to say was gauge depth, and I think he said gouge.
Oh,
gouge.
Okay.
It was weird. It was wrong, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this? No.
I mean, even from gauge depth, I'm trying to figure out what you mean.
Well, it was they were talking about the eyes are at the front of the head, so they can gauge depth.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, or gauge distance or something like that. And it was like for hunting. And I think they said gouge depth or something. And I was just like, what? What?
Like, huh?
All right.
What are we doing?
I'm actually going to have these images open for me in the side of my computer. In my other window, in my other screen, just so I can see them. A little easier. Can I not zoom in while in this window?
Is it possible? Could it be?
Apparently not. Zoom, yes. I can.
Big oof. Okay,
no, I can. It was just being weird. Okay. Yeah, because I want to like
Such is
zoom in
life.
to the canvas over here, and I want to be able to see the image. Ooh, fit to win. Nope, that didn't do it. Okay, beautiful.
Oh, don't die.
We've been cooking these hot peppers recently, and well, I've cooked the peppers before. It seems like these in particular have been like very aromatic, and thus when you're frying them up, it's been like very tough. Like it really fills the air and really like gets in your lungs and stuff, and is making us cough. And it's like, I don't know why these in particular have been so pungent is not the word, but just like noxious, I guess.
Noxious is probably accurate.
Yeah. So it's like just interesting.
Damn. I don't need too many spicy peppers.
It's only for Dylan.
From those.
It's only for Dylan. Dylan likes the spice, and so I oblige him and I make him peppers on his own. But it certainly.
Oh, so it's not even the taste; it's the smell. That
no,
lingers.
It's literally like they.
The scent in the air.
Yeah, they like volatilize basically.
Oh snap! That's one hot pepper.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, so what?
So what?
I do have an approximate knowledge of many things.
We
Pepper
all do.
spray? It's not to that extent. It doesn't like eyes water or sting or anything. It's just like definitely like... It feels more like you're breathing in smoke, I guess. Like a lot of coughing. But it's not really, at least from my experience, not really like stinging or anything. Okay, this is not working.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go like this. And okay, we're gonna actually figure draw this cat. It's not a cat at all, but I'm gonna actually do figure drawing instead of trying to do this eto bleh. Hello, PCM.
Eto bleh.
Okay.
Eto
that. If it comes in and down, and we have like that. And is forward. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Feels like your head is too small. I recently watched a video from an artist that I followed for a while, and she's gotten obsessed with the original character she made. And I showed it to Mars because so many of the quotes are just so relatable. What was it? There he is! That's the birth of my fully grown man!
That was so relatable.
So relatable.
Because, like, anytime a character talks for the first time, it's like, oh, he said his first words! I'm so proud!
It's so good. Ooh, if you posted best is that
our boys.
Best friends in quotations PCM, because really they're lovers, you know, they were roommates. Because everybody else knows they're lovers, even them. You're just in denial, PCM.
It's no secret.
No. I don't know to which part. We said a lot of shit there. Well, I said a lot of shit there.
Yeah, sorry I'm being a little quiet tonight, guys. Mars is in the zone.
AutoZone?
One of the zones.
One of the zones?
If this process was automated, it would be a lot easier.
We don't want that. No. Bad. Bad, Mars.
No. Begone AI.
Begone AI.
Actually, weren't you the one who told me AI is facing a lawsuit like last night or something?
It wasn't that they were facing a lawsuit. It's that they're like projected to OpenAI is projected to lose like $5 billion or something, and they might go bankrupt in the next 5 years. It looks like they might go bankrupt, which is what we want. And then Dylan comes in and is like, "Oh, they're doing like AI lawyer shit again," and it's like, "Oh God,
no."
Yeah, they really want to AI the lawyers for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah. Get this, they also want to AI the SLPs too.
Actually?
Yeah, they have made an AI speech therapist. I'm like, oh yeah, have the computer program teach your child how to speak. Why don't we just suck the humanity out of every possible profession?
Jesus, that's
like the
crazy.
one thing that makes it somewhat tolerable is the human connection. Now you're gonna suck that out and make it as soulless as possible?
That's insane.
Fuck off. Sorry guys, I feel very passionately about
vibe.
that.
Like, Jesus, horrible. It's just, why do they want to automate all the things that nobody ever wanted automated? You know, like
because cheap. And they don't have to pay workers.
But what you don't understand is, like, I'm not trying to advocate for people losing their jobs. There are plenty of jobs that are paid for that are people that nobody really wants to do those jobs. Okay? Like, there's plenty of jobs like that.
Again, I want AI to do my laundry and wash the dishes, not
take
away all the shit
there's
I
a
love.
dishwasher job at restaurants and other places that need dishes. There's laundromats. Well, I guess laundromats, nobody does the laundry for you. I don't think you could really automate dry cleaners.
Maybe you're thinking of dry cleaning?
Yeah, but I don't think you really could. There's just so many variables that goes into that. But just like, come on. Truck drivers? Go ahead. I'm okay with automated truck drivers. That's kind of grueling work for a real person, you know?
With automated truck drivers if they can fucking drive. If the trucks can't drive, I don't want them on the road with
I'm talking about ideally it works properly. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Why does this look off?
Like, I don't know why they're so insistent on this.
I
do know, technically. I just don't want to admit it.
It's okay, PCM. You know, life, sometimes it just is what it is. But, I wanted to mention to Pastry Puff. Pastry Puff was like, I never realized how, like, my OCs are my babies until they started writing for them. And I'm like, yeah, that's such a vibe. It's such a vibe. Honestly, to me, it's such a vibe for any character that I really like. Is very much just like, this is my child. This is not, like, I don't, no matter how much I swoon over Edgeworth, it's very much just like, but he's for Phoenix. I want to see, their relationship grow.
Belongs to someone else.
I'm not here being like, yeah. It's more just like, yes, this pretty boy for my other son. Like, let's go.
No, it's like that meme where the bunny goes, "Mom, I want him for him."
Yeah, exactly.
That's literally it.
This character was made for this other character. But oh my god, some of the freaking quotes from this like YouTube video, I'm trying to remember them all, but it was like it was one and she's like talking about like his backstory and his like trauma and his pain and she's just like, he's really messed up. And that's what I'm here for it or something like that. And I'm just like, this is so vibes.
It really is.
He's not right in the head, and I did that purpose, whatever, like shit like that. I can't even remember all the quotes. There's so many good quotes.
It's like, this is by design, please and thank you.
Yeah.
Too good.
Okay, is the neck too long? I feel like the neck is too long. Here's the neck. No, but the hand. Uncertain.
Uncertain. That's okay. We all have moments like that.
Because the spine is like back here. This is the skull. The ears are too big. You have the skull and it comes up and over. And then that's where the brain would be. Then you have the other jawbone here. Something like that. And then the ears holes are like here. Okay, something like that. And then shoulder comes in like that, yeah. Comes straight across down here. Toe beans. There we go. You get thick up top here. See, look how... See, Mars, Feryx has to be thick because look at the thick limbs of this thing compared to, like, a cat.
I mean, they're pretty freaking thick, I gotta say.
You know, they're chunky. And he's got big feet. That's something I really gotta do in the child Feryx design.
Give him chunky feet.
Yeah, because I mean, think about it. Most animals, they grow into their feet.
Oh, that's true. They start off with those big, massive paws, and then eventually they fit the body.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like that's a little thing to add.
That's gonna be so cute.
Bigfoot Feryx, baby Feryx.
Yes. Make
him even more awkward.
This is the timeline we want. Yes.
It's so funny. Baby Milano, you know, little kid Milano, super easy. He looks pretty much the same, but he has, you know, like a different patterning. Baby, little kid Aster, she's a fucking bird. Bird babies look nothing like the adults. So it's like, how do I make it that this is still kind of recognizably Aster, but still like he's a bird child?
I know that was one of the biggest things you were struggling with, and I don't got any advice for you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's one of those things where it's like, it's balancing character design and like feel, I guess, because it's like, I'm not trying to hide, you know, that this is child Aster, right? So it should look enough like him to be like recognizable, and I feel like it will be with the hair, because you think about, like, I think about Jin, you
Definitely.
know, from Twilight Out of Focus. It's not, you know, it was basically hair color was the only thing that was kept, you know, the same. And you were still like, oh yeah, immediately we all recognized that was Jin and that was Giichi. So it's like,
yep.
I feel like because the hair's colors are so wild in our universe, because of how animals work and the hair patterns, you know, but he wouldn't have his hair pattern. He'd be solid. So that's a whole thing, you know, so it's just like, we're really struggling. And by we, I mean Ori.
The struggle bus, all aboard.
All aboard the struggle bus.
Choo-choo.
Calimero, I'll look up that after. Do I have pink hair in real life? Sadly, I do not. Basically, okay, I constantly go back and forth. Yes, both Mars and I have normal person, the most average hair color, brown.
It's very sad.
It's
but
one
of
those things,
guys, I'm scared to dye my hair for fear of ruining my roots.
See, I'm not scared to dye my hair for damage to my hair. I'm scared to dye my hair because I've curated a specific, for two reasons. One, I've curated a specific wardrobe that I would fear dyeing my hair any color could clash, like, you know, fear dyeing my hair could clash with that. And two, I feel like if I went with a color, it's a combination of the two things. I feel like I really like how this faucet came out. I think it came out pretty good. That's not what we were talking about,
it looks pretty
but
swish.
I know the timer's about to run out, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Hey, you doing good, girl.
And what was I saying? So my hair is dark. Okay, I have dark hair, and so I'm concerned the colors of hair that would make it so it goes with my wardrobe. That would be really pretty. I love looking at hair these colors, like hella. I feel like that now the tone right now, the shade is so light that I don't know if I'd like how I look. You know, I like how I look with dark hair. So it's like, oh well, there's only so many good dark colors to dye your hair, you know. And so it's very much like, I really like how I look already. I'm very confident in myself. And so I feel like
confidence very well.
To change it
fashion
would be like, I don't know if I'd like it. But see, I would never do that, Grenade. I'm already too scared. There's like one content creator, and honestly, they're so gender. Oh my god. And they have like pretty short hair, and it's curly, and it's like the same level of curly that my hair is. And so it's like, wow, I feel like I could really pull off this style. But it's like, one, what if I don't actually like it in the end? Now it's short, you know, there's not, you just gotta wait. And two is when you get super short hairstyles, there's like a length where it's like awkward if you grow it out. There's like a length where it's just not good, no matter what.
It's like that mini phase in between. And it's
there's just like one transition phase, like growing out your bangs, right? Has like the transition, like where it's like, this just sucks.
Sucked. Never again.
Exactly, Grenade. So it's just like a concern.
You could not pay me to relive that experience.
This little,
I'm sorry.
Is this
just 3 weeks?
Grenade Calimero?
That's just 3 weeks.
It's kind of cute.
It's not 3 weeks, Grenade.
I feel like it really depends on you, your hair, and what length we're talking about. Because going from bald to something stylable is kind of fast, but then going from like awkward mid-tier, am I at a bob, am I at a pixie cut, am I at a short hairstyle, to like anything beyond that is like forever. Oh my god, Jesus Christ.
The worst. As you're stuck in hair limbo.
Yeah.
And it's bad. It's not a fun time for anyone. Oh, that's right. I had a Ferrix to color.
Okay. Yes, this is the cosplayer, and you're very gender. Show me your real hair, though. These are all wigs. God. Because it's, they pull off so well the AFAB, and I'm dressing as hot anime boys. And it's just like, yes, please. That's all I want in life.
Is it Fear Fiction by chance?
No, it's Bucket Brown.
Ooh, okay. Also very good.
You're so good. You're so fucking
No
gender.
complaints.
It's crazy nuts.
So gender. I want the gender.
This doesn't show off the hair very well, but like, Jesus Christ.
Mom said it's my turn with the gender.
Sir, ma'am, whatever you want, please. Where do I get
Beautiful
this?
Person, you.
Where do I get this?
And thank you.
There's always one image I really like, and I can't find it. Like this one.
I feel like it's a small little thing to ask.
Okay, this has the same one, but a different one as well. Like on the right there. It's like my hair is like this color, not so red, more like, it's a little darker. It's this level of curly. It's this level of like curly. And that's like, so I feel like I could pull it off, but I'm forever scared.
Well, Mason, I guess I don't have a gender because I don't have an Xbox.
Oh snap, I don't have an Xbox either.
Loopholes. So Ori and I have no gender.
Yeah, never had an Xbox. Only PlayStation.
Genderless. Oh really? Same here.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was never even mine.
And any Nintendo console, obviously.
Ooh, okay, here we go.
I don't know. Did they include gender with our Nintendos?
No, Nintendos were specifically for the queers of both gender and sexuality. That's the only explanation. I mean, look at it. Okay, there. See? Like, I could totally... I'm like, I could pull this off. Maybe. But if you do it, there's no fucking going back for a long time, you know?
MP, what is anti-gender?
Yeah, what is anti-gender?
What do Ori and I have?
What does this mean? All right.
Must know.
Let's continue with the fossa.
Now I'm intrigued.
Drawings.
What a coinky dink. I am coloring the fossa right now.
Look at you.
Yes.
Gender but evil? I don't want to be evil.
I never asked to be evil.
I want to be evil.
You know what? No. We got the anti-gender, but we're the exceptions to the rule.
Oh, okay.
We're not evil. We're not evil. And if we are evil, we shove that into our characters. That's where the evil goes.
Mars writing Avrit.
Avrit in any scene, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an antagonist, and he's currently having fun being an antagonist, but the boy is broken inside and needs some help.
Indeed. As a concept? Oh, the gender is evil as a concept? I feel like gender, like, I'm fine with gender being a thing. I just want a shape change, okay? Like, it's more just like I want the ability to do it, you know? It's very, like... I feel very gender apathetic, where I'm like, I'm okay being this way, but, like, sometimes you want to change it up, you know?
The option is nice.
The option is nice. There was like a thing, and it was like, if there was a button that could, you know, switch your gender with, like, you know, painlessly, and you can go back, like, immediately, painlessly, like, just you're the opposite gender, and you could go back, like, by pressing the button again. It was like everybody would press the button at least once. And it's like, yeah, obviously. Yeah. Who wouldn't press the button at least once, you know? Come on. You ain't curious?
At least once.
You're telling me you ain't curious?
If you're not curious,
a peanut on fire in physics class earlier?
That sounds like a good physics class.
It wasn't physics. But, like, 7th grade science, there's, like, a lot of setting random stuff on fire happening. This is not it.
There's, like, a copper penny experiment they did in high school once. I don't remember what it was. I remember
magnesium tape in middle school. That was the big thing.
You inhaled peanut fire, MP.
I hope you're not allergic. I hope they prefaced that with anyone allergic, please leave.
Good God, could you imagine that when you arrived at
How very cis of me?
So why are you here?
I don't even know it was cis of me.
I breathed in the peanut. I breathed in peanut fire.
To sell more I love that, Mason. Yeah, thankfully, Jesus. But did they warn people in case someone was? Because, like, God, that sounds like an issue waiting to happen. That's kind of wild, Mason.
Oh, that's cool.
It's always wild when you go to, like, college and stuff. Swiss people.
Oh my God.
Cis people don't wish they could switch gender at will. I'm not, so first of all, I'm not saying that it's like
Swiss
necessarily
people don't wish they could switch gender. If I'm being, there you go.
At will. Yeah, being a changeling, I don't, you know, the fact that anybody thinks about it at all is like whatever. You know, who knows at this point. There's too many labels and not enough labels, and I don't really care. It doesn't actually affect me. But two, the button, in relation to the button, even actually fully cis people totally would still push the button. Like, you're not telling me that, like, all, like, body swap and thus like gender bent things are solely from like trans non-binary people. You know, like there's no way that it's like, you know, come on.
Or he's spitting truths out here.
It's either that or it's the same concept of everybody's like nobody's really straight, you know? Like nobody's fully straight. You just kind of exist, you know? And you have a preference, but like, eh.
Honestly, I would be okay with just existing.
Labels are useful for other interactions, but I feel like they're good to be prefaced with the, yeah, but That's why I use ace. It's too much to get into it, you know? We're just leaving it.
We'll touch that later.
Not even later. Date, see, I will say I'm in the very privileged position of the label is not necessary for like my life in any, you know, like a lot of labels are like, you know, social and stuff, like, you know, labeling yourself a certain way can help you find a partner or, you know, like do whatever, get, you know, healthcare in order to, you know, change yourself to be happy, you know, and get all the pieces and parts you want. But I'm in a position where I could be apathetic. Your sexuality is, I'll figure it out tomorrow. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I will say ace I'm pretty confident in, because it's very much just like, yeah, when anybody ace talks about being ace, it's like, yes, all of this is yes. I feel that real hard. The gender stuff is just like
accurate.
I both want to be a hot anime boy, and I'm perfectly comfortable and happy and feeling myself, you know, not being a hot anime boy. So it's just like, What's your gender where it's like masculine woman, feminine man as one thing? Because that's like the middle of the spectrum, right? That's the middle. That's where they combine. That's the shit.
Well, that's where you get androgynous, and it's like, yes, please. That's the shit I want.
Confusion.
Yes.
My gender is confusion.
I want my gender to confuse everyone to the point where they wonder, shit, am I a little bit gay?
See, mine is very much like, I'm fine to be a woman. You know, I'm happy being a woman. I'm not needing to be like, oh, being confused about being a woman. But then it's also just like, but I do want to dress up in drag as hot anime boys. Like that's the one I want to cosplay, the hot anime men. That's it.
I gotta say, I have cosplayed more men than I have cosplayed women. But I also gotta say that
I have not. I can't say that.
Anime men are kind of written a bit bitter sometimes. At least we're moving away from that now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, oof, the pickings were rough.
But it's like
the pickings were rough.
Yeah. They were rough. It's just more of them too, you know? It's more of them too.
It's interesting. So, guys, I started rewatching Attack on Titan recently because a friend of mine wanted to watch it.
To look up these characters. Maybe.
So we started doing it over stream, and we're watching it in the dub because that's what she wanted to do. And I'm like, okay, I never watched it in the dub. I always watched it in the sub, you know, Yuki Kaji as Eren and all that good stuff. But I was open to something new, especially because I've been watching dubs with Ori. So we started watching, and first off, Mikasa's English voice actress does a phenomenal job. Like, she is giving it her all. Honestly, everyone is giving it their all. Like, I have no complaints about the AOT dub. It sounds great. Took me a little time to get used to Armin's voice just because I'm so much more used to him being higher pitched, but it works. It works, and he nailed the screaming scene, so that's all I cared about. But I'm watching with my friend, and I'm like, why do I care about Mikasa more when it's her English voice actress than I did with her Japanese voice actress? Like, I'm not sure what the difference is. I'd have to go back and listen to the sub again. But like, listening to her dub voice, I was like, oh shit, I'm about to start crying. Like, she's really, like, I feel moved right now, and I actually care about Mikasa. Like, now I would cosplay her because I really like her as a character. Like, I think it's interesting because Mikasa herself is an interesting character. She's very stoic, but she also has depth to her. And I feel like with the stoic nature, like, the Japanese voice actress captures that. She does a great job too. But I feel like it's almost too deadpan. Whereas the English voice actress works in more like subtleties. And I think also being English speaking as well, like, I can easily pick up on
that's
those.
the big thing, like, I
I'm
find.
hearing it, so I'm like, oh, I can hear that, like, little subtlety there, and it stands out to me. So maybe that's why I'm connecting more.
Because I definitely find,
like, listening to it, I'm like, if I listened to this like back in high school, I think Mikasa would have been my favorite character.
Because it's definitely like, I totally get the past, like, hatred for dubs. Okay, because there was certainly a time where they were quickly, cheaply done and bad. Big one being Naruto, iconically bad. I on my feed recently, they keep showing me the fucking Chunin arc scene, Chunin exam arc, where freaking Rock Lee drops his weights and is fucking epic as hell, which is a great fucking fantastic scene. One of the best scenes from that arc, no question, if not the best scene from that arc. So good, so great. But I gotta tell you, in the dub, it's real bad. Now I can move freely. Like, I don't feel this. What? Jesus.
Or he's just like, what is this shit?
What? Yeah, really. You know, so, like, I totally get once upon a time there being a great disparity against, like, the dub and the sub having effort put in, right? You know, definitely the original voice actors would have put more effort in, and then, you know, what, the Ghost Stories dub, you know, notoriously having it, like, all this sort of stuff.
To be honest, I kind of want to watch it for Halloween.
Well, it's meant to be, like, it's not meant to be funny, but, like, now it is a meme in and of itself, but as a separate thing. But the idea of that, like, how that came to be is kind of sad, you know?
But it's also kind of like there's a story behind it. Like,
yeah,
the actors were not given a script, so they were just like, okay, fuck it.
Yeah, and the fact that that was so okay with production that it became a thing, you know, like that it exists, you know, that it wasn't like in the studio and canceled or something.
Kind of wild.
Like, that's wild.
That would never happen
in
any
Mason?
other industry. No. That would never happen in any other industry.
Yeah.
At least to my knowledge.
And so it's just like
fascinating that flew here.
Yeah, exactly. And so being that it's like but now I feel like it's definitely, they actually care. You know, a lot of like you're seeing a lot of voice actors are being specifically like dub voice actors having like a lot of their career in dubs. Like, they love what they're doing. They ain't like, you know, half-assing it and things like this. There's actually scripts writings with intention, you know, for how it goes and everything. Like, there's definitely effort put in now, and I feel like, if I'm being honest, no matter what, if both voice acting and script writing qualities are the same, you will do better watching it in your native language, or at least a language you're fluent in. I bet if I was fluent in Japanese enough to watch anime solely in Japanese, that'd be great. But the fact that you're not, you know, the fact that I'm not, is kind of tough. No, Rovo, we're doing mammal anatomy, and so right now I've done
Ori is learning.
Yeah. We're just going over. I'm doing some like
Ori,
figure drawings.
I am sorry, I am abusing the privileges of the wireless headphones, but I need to go grab something real quick. I can still hear everything.
Guys, I unchained Mars by giving her wireless headphones.
Now I'm unhinged.
And now she's just constantly leaving her desk. I kind of put the cord back in, guys. I don't know.
You want me to DM you why I got it?
You don't have to. I'm just messing. What am I doing? See, guys, you know, Dylan, and was, you know, Dylan always talked about chaining to his computer. He was never chained to his laptop. He never had wired headphones. And now we've released Mars. I can't keep a hold of these employees anymore, guys. I'm gonna have to cut their health insurance. It's the only way. That'll keep them sat at a desk all day. I don't know how those two things go together, but it's a plan. An Adam. See, I don't want to do. I would never do an Animorphs. W's free, yeah. W is free. Chained by societal pressure. Yes, enthuse. Hello. How you been? What was I saying? Lost my train of thought. Oh, I would never do... all right. We did some fossas. Now we're gonna move along. Now we have the American Badger. Ooh, fancy. And so we're gonna start out with what I did the first time. We're gonna look at the shape. I don't know what color this character is. What's his base color? What's his main color? I guess I would make him a sort of like brownish color. Ah, badger, yes. Specifically the American badger, not the European badger from Wind in the Willows. But all right, we gotta find the shapes here. This is not a good color to use for this right now. So we're just gonna do it this way. So he has a much flatter, pointier head than we had before. See how flat that is. The ears barely stick up out of the head. They come out more to the side, it looks like. And they're very pointed. Or the blue badger, not the blue badger. So if this is the elbow, you have to trace back. We have, this is the shoulder here to the elbow. So we have sort of this area, like that. Very short, stubby legs. But really big paws, because them claws, them digging claws. So neck, very short, stout neck. Very, very flat. You know, very flat from the head to the neck, to the top of the shoulder blade. Very flat. Honestly, he's like one big round. He's like a loaf. Look at this, very loaf-like on the body. I'm not even separating the chest. You know, it's have to be somewhere in here, like this. Chest and the hips, something like that. Very, very loaf-like. We have the hip here, come down to the knee. You got this sort of form here. And he comes back real sharp. Look at how sharp that is. Real sharp like that. And again, the long nails and stuff. And then the tail, you can see the tail just swoops up and it creates like this like skirt to the back haunches portion of the fur. Here the thing is down. But I know it has a bit of a puffy here. I'm gonna just try to keep that flat line, because that's what I feel is very badger-y. I'm not sure what this poof is. But you have this sort of flat line there. Flat, short, stubbed, round. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna do a little bit of the face. It's got a very flattened trapezoidal face. Look at that. Look at how ploofed out it gets. I don't know what this, but you know, we have this sort of shape here like this. And the ears come off this portion. Ooh, okay, I'm really feeling this. Mushroom, mushroom. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. Yes. Little streakies here. Great. The eyes are definitely very front facing. And then so off of this basically comes the neck. So the neck is fairly cylindrical. Ooh, okay, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing how it's coming. I'm seeing the shapes work. Ooh, okay, I think we got it down. Pistachio-shaped head? I don't know if I would say pistachio. But very flat. Okay. Oh. Let's grab the other legs in here. We have this one here like that. Great. And the eye is here. And he's got the floof. Floof there. Okay. I think we're in it for the other bit now. Am I gonna flip the image so I can draw right-handed or not? Mars is not mute today. Mars left us, though she can hear us, Enthuse, so, you know, talk shit about her. She can hear you now. Mars left us with her wireless headphones. She's unchained. She's unbothered. She's left. I have no way to keep her stuck in her computer
I can hear
today.
Everything you say.
Oh shit, she's back. Do I flip the image so I can draw it right-handed? Or do I force myself to draw it
though,
lefty?
I gotta say.
Gonna force myself.
I am sitting there menacingly with my teacup.
We're gonna try.
And my little tea.
Or he's gonna try.
I'm so happy tomorrow's Friday, you guys.
Yeah, vibe.
I'm like, let's go. Hi, weekend.
I'm ready for Ace Attorney.
Me too. I want to solve this mystery.
Well, we might have Nicole
so what
again.
What does pistachio head look like?
I can't show I started the timer, Mars. You were gone too long.
Shit. Rats.
So we have...
I mean, Mason, I don't have to imagine I do stuff on Fridays. Lots of stuff, in fact.
Yeah, Mason's sitting in the privileged no Friday stuff seat.
That used to be my seat over the summer.
Yeah, but now Mars is the full-fledged adult actually having to do stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so we
Earning
have
that kizash.
Kizash.
So I can eat.
Okay, and then we have very loaf. Ooh, look at loaf. Ooh, okay, this is not perfect yet.
Oh, that is very loaf.
I think this needs to be shorter. I think I've made his neck too long. And the angle too steep? Not steep enough. No, I think that's
9
good.
9 p.m. Mason? Damn.
Oh, Jesus. I never had that.
I didn't think undergraduates could do night classes.
It goes till 9. That's something. I had 7 to 9 p.m. classes.
Okay, but then that would start at 7.
Yeah, until 9.
Yeah, no.
A well-baked loaf, indeed. Look at that nice
Maybe that was the thing
color
at my undergrad campus, but I don't remember.
Yeah, my undergrad had, I took a math class.
I think at my school they only offered that to graduate students because that's when the time switched. So it's like, okay, the undergraduates are like in their dorm or doing extra.
Well, I don't think all
schools. Now it's time for the graduates.
I don't think all schools have night classes to do that with. Like, while my school had graduates, it were very few and far between, and they were like kind of doing mostly their own thing.
Wild. Very wild. I give you props for doing it, Mason. Night classes are not easy.
Okay. So...
Because eventually you just hit a point of, I want to be home, I want to be eating dinner.
Well, night classes are super not easy, especially if you've had to work all day first. You know, if I had one night class and that was all I had to do that day, you know, I guess whatever. But if it's like I'm also
but if there was stuff that came before.
But it's like I'm doing night classes because I fucking work 8-hour shifts is like, well, fuck, you know.
It's funny because that was going to be my plan originally when I started grad school. And then I realized how nice it was not being yelled at by customers. And I was like, yeah, I'm gone. Sorry.
Okay.
My mental health is finally back. I'm not giving that up.
Hi, Rando. I don't know what you did subscribe
Rando.
for, so I can't oblige.
We appreciate you for subscribing, so thank you, thank you.
You're low-key making bank this school. I mean, that's the shit.
School year. Congrats.
Can I ask what you're doing to make bank? Do you have like a job? Are you tutoring?
Why is your rent price? That's amazing.
Damn. Oh, well, you are. It sounds like you're working a lot though, so, you know, give and take.
Trade-offs. Definitely trade-offs.
Good that you have enough money to save and splurge, but damn, I hope you got a good work-life balance. Because I will tell you,
I gotta balance myself. Like this is my new rule. When a new paycheck comes in, I can buy one thing that I can use at work, and then one thing for fun, and then wait until the next paycheck. Like any necessities kind of fall out of that range. There's like one fun thing, and then one I need this for therapy thing.
You should make sure to keep all those receipts for your job stuff, Mars. You might be able to write them off on taxes. Okay.
I very much am.
Good. Because you're probably able to write those off on taxes.
I go into the tax person's office is like, hi, I'd like to write off these animal puzzles. I'd like to write off these building blocks and pop the pig.
Yep.
These are my tax write-offs. Write off Pop the Pig, which, oh my god. Okay, guys, if you plan to work with children, don't get them Pop the Pig.
Oh, no.
The buyer's remorse. It's great. It works. The problem is the kids cannot control themselves around Pop the Pig. Like, they want to push the head over and over to make the belly inflate, and they want to see the pig pop. But not only do they want to see the pig pop, they want to pull open the jacket before it's ready to pop. They want to, like, touch it, and the springs break. My Pop the Pig lasted a month.
Oof.
Now it's retired.
Well, damn.
So, yep, it lives at my office now. I don't know how to fix it. I'm hoping maybe if I go to a thrift store, I might find one that works, and now I can just switch them out.
You bring it next time we hang out.
I am not spending full price on Pop the Pig.
Bring it when we hang out. I can leave it with my dad. There's a non-zero chance he can fix it.
Really? Ori, I'm gonna owe your dad money at this point. He's fixed my laptop. He's fixed my
well,
mic.
He didn't really fully fix the laptop. We did have to do other things after that, but
just still better than we ever got. Yes, Yeti and My Spaghetti and Don't Break the Ice are fantastic. Love those.
What's the one that has the elephant that throws all of the little butterflies in the air? Yeah.
Fun. I had that game growing up.
Yeah, I never had it, but I did play it.
But you cannot use it in a school.
It's kind of loud.
It's a running around game, and it's very loud.
It's very loud. The thing is very loud.
But it's so fun. What's interesting, I've been seeing this recently. Ori, do you remember the go fishing games? Like the little automated, like the fish go in a motor, like they either spin around or they run on a magnetic track, and you're fishing them with that little fishing pole?
Yep.
They still have those, but now they're like smaller.
Interesting.
So it's almost better in a way. At least in my case, because I'm like, yay, this fits in a bag and I can travel.
All right. I'm actually pretty happy with this badger.
One where you pull sticks out of a tube without the things falling.
Oh.
Mason, I was about to say Jenga, but I'm not sure about
No, I know what you're
tube.
talking about. I know what you're talking about,
that?
Mason. Kerplunk?
Kerplunk.
Yes. It's just a sort of...
Induce.
Look at that.
Yeah, that becomes your life. My car has become the speech car. It's just filled with games and toys.
Badger markings are so
and books.
cool.
They are.
I like when animals have markings. Thank you. They're more interesting.
And nature gave them the good stuff.
And look how varied they are. Like, look at this guy's markings versus this guy's markings versus, you know. It's like, oh.
It's so good. Well, guys, thanks for the toy talk break.
You have 3 Kerplunks?
Coloring Milano. 3 Kerplunk. I mean, I understand because you need them.
All right, now it's... oh, I accidentally drew this on the wrong layer. Success. What is this now? Okay, no object.
Wait, is that hair or shoulder? Nope, that's hair.
Hair is pointy, shoulder is round. The badger is shaped like a pot sticker. I mean, look at him. Look at that. Like I mean, I totally see what you're saying. Look at this. There he is.
Look at that little
Pot
guy.
sticker badger. There's no question.
That's actually a really cute name.
Pot sticker badger?
Would you be embarrassed to call that name Pot Sticker?
Oh, as a name. I feel like it's just too long.
Name. Too long?
Yeah. I'm a 2-syllable girly, or it's too long. Okay, so we have the flat top, we have the longer bottom. Here, you're getting the pistachio head now, Mars, apparently.
Oh. You pick it as I'm coloring Milano? Oh, how dare you.
You have time, but the longer you wait, the less pistachio it becomes.
I'm looking at pistachio head.
This is what they called pistachio head. And then
That's
we have...
too cute.
Yeah, it's kind of... Remember, the neck kind of just comes straight out. They're chonk. They're chonka boys.
They're very chunk.
It made the collar character we have very chonk. I like him, though. Honestly, really, really love this collar character.
Oh, he's great. I love the music that we now have for him, too.
Yes.
Guys,
or
there's so much good music now.
Or we found a lot of cool music stuff.
Which I was vibing to on my commute today.
Oh, nice.
Based.
Okay, and then we have like this marking. It's fluffy. And we've kind of got a little fluffy down the middle.
You are the easiest color to color, so why are you taking forever?
Easiest. Yeah, I guess he has the least patterns.
He does. That's the trick.
Baby Milano has
like,
more patterning, though.
Stuff going on.
Okay, I made this badger really fucking cute, though. Jesus. It's not perfect, but it's pretty cute.
It's giving Beatrix Potter, and that's never a bad thing.
But that's European badger. Okay, the ears are too big. That I have to fix. Ears are too big.
Ooh, what's the report on Enthuse?
Yeah.
Anything interesting?
Okay. I think that's adding to the cuteness. The ears are too big. I'm gonna round its skull a little more.
Nice, nice.
And then I think I really just gotta like... It's too... I think I made it too flat. A little too flat.
Oh no.
Okay. And we sort of have... This comes in And then the snout comes out. Like that. Maybe that'll help?
Oh. Funny story from today, guys. Oh, I'm working with one of my kiddos, and she's very cute. We're having a great time. We're doing art therapy. And all of a sudden, she starts scratching her head.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, okay, that doesn't usually happen. And then she says the dreaded words you never want a preschooler to say.
Uh-oh.
My head feels itchy.
Uh-oh.
And the first thing through my head was,
lice.
Oh God, lice. So she was one of my first kiddos of the day. So I had to do sessions with all my other little kiddos. By the time I left, I had a little gap in between. So I'm standing there like, okay, that, like, since she said that, my skin has been like crawling. You know when someone like suggests that there's a spider or suggests lice, and suddenly you feel the phantom crawling on your body, and it's just like, no, bad time, and I cannot focus on anything else.
Yep.
So I'm leaving the school, and I'm like, do I go home and shower before my next appointment? So I called my mom, and I literally said to her, like, hi, Mom, exact same thing I told you guys. And I was like, Mom, if I come home and shower, am I being paranoid? And she was like, no, you don't mess with that stuff. Come home and shower. Come home and shower. I'm like, okay, thanks for validating my fears. I'll be home in like 20 minutes. So I literally just like break in the middle of the day to wash out my hair.
Damn.
My mom took it to the next degree. She was like, here's a bag, dump all your clothes in it, we'll wash it separately. It wasn't confirmed. It was more just, I am paranoid as shit. Like, guys,
lice
I've
sucks.
never had lice in my life.
What?
I've never had lice. I don't want it.
Fucking how? Fucking how? How did you avoid it?
Like,
that's shit. What the fuck? There's no fucking way.
I did good. I did good. I got lucky.
You got lucky. You didn't do shit. I'm just gonna tell you. That's all luck. I never shared a hairbrush. I never shared a hat. I got lice at least 3 times.
Oh, nice, MP.
Oh, damn. What the hell?
Do I call you MP or do I call you NR?
So, lice is not...
or NER?
What did I do wrong? I existed...
What did you do wrong?
No! I existed as a child. That is it.
I have never gotten lice once in my life, and I am not going to start.
Oh.
So I literally was like, salon treatment, I'm doing the rinse, I'm doing the double rinse. So like, I'm not fucking messing with that.
Lice is not just a child thing. It's a human-only thing, but it's not just a child thing. To my understanding,
it's
the reason...
most common with children.
Well, the reason that it's most prevalent is the similar reason as to why children get, like, when you work with children and when you are a child, you get sick a lot more, is you're just in much closer, less hand-washy, like, scenarios, right?
Yes.
Adults totally do, can, and will get lice. However, it is literally just... When you're a kid, you're just in a position where you are more in close contact with the physical head hair of other children. You know, you don't think... How many times as an adult do you share a coat with somebody that's not like an immediate, like, family member or like your significant other? You know, like how many... You don't go to the office place and start sharing your coat around, or, you know, or sharing your hats around. You don't go into, you know, your place of work and like shake your head and like, you know... run up and like have constantly physical contact with your coworkers. You just don't do that. That's not... I literally can't think of a job where you do that that isn't also working with children. You know, maybe medical fields. I'm curious if you know, nurses and doctors would get it more often. I don't know.
Be possible in the medical field. Because you run into all kinds of stuff in the medical field.
Yeah, so
yeah, children definitely get it more often just because they're in close proximity to one another. There's more opportunities. They're
theater,
definitely
yeah,
not
maybe
thinking
theater it would
about
be
hygiene.
bigger. It could be a bigger
They're
thing.
not thinking about hygiene at all.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah.
And then immediately after that, I went back out to my next appointment.
All right. Well, I did some
like
badger.
literally break in the middle of the day to wash my hair.
Time to continue.
What's next?
Black-backed jackal.
Ooh.
Very long boys.
Pastry puff. And this girl sounds like potential friend material.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Like in Sherlock Holmes, like in Will Wood. Come on.
I also don't know what color this character will be.
This is what friendships are made of.
But we'll use like a reddish, a bright orange for now.
So, Enthuse, the focus is mammals today because it's part of one of Ori's classes.
Yeah.
And that in and of itself is part of making time because Ori made time to take the class.
Yeah, so basically,
making time.
I purchased a class.
Ori has too much stuff she wants
by an artist I really like and have admired for a very long time. Their name is CritBit on Instagram. And I've loved their art for a long time. So when I found out they made a course and you could get the course, I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. And so this is the character design course. And while it started with some character design, we did the thumbnails. It moved briefly now currently into like anatomy territory of like, it had humans. That's what we did 2 weeks ago. And now we have they did mammals. And I think that's all. I don't think they did any other things. Mammals are just easy, recognizable, and common. You know, a lot of people lean towards those. I'm trying to see if I... Oh, so the next group is scales and feathers. So, you know, I don't know if... I think... So that's more anatomy on reptiles and birds will be next week. And then we talk about chimeras, which is the fucking shit that I want to get there.
Yes.
And then we get to robots.
Ooh.
And then we do clothing and props. And then we finally get to actually polishing.
Is having anatomy.
Yeah, right. And then we get to polishing those thumbnails we did for those characters into character designs, doing the full body character expression, full body sketches, making expressive facial expressions, dynamic character interactions. Cleaning up, and then it goes into what I'm super most interested in is their like art process. So preparing a sketch for line art, base colors, turnarounds, line art, all that sort of stuff. Rendering a character, which I'm like, I really want to know how they rendered characters and stuff. So we do have a ways to go. I do try to only do, you know, only make you guys sit through stuff that I would actually be drawing for. I found the human anatomy one to be very interesting because while it's not like a extensive class, I find it did help sort of break certain things down. I will say I will never draw shoulders the same. Yeah, that's the cheese indeed. You're correct. I'll never draw shoulders the same because it definitely just feels like they got it right, and now I always draw shoulders that way and it looks fucking good. So
that's the shit.
It's always nice, but my biggest thing is definitely wanting to render how they render because they have a really lovely art style in my opinion, and it's definitely something I would like to I would like to improve my rendering a little bit. You know, I definitely do lazy rendering, if I'm being honest. That's partially because 90% of the art I ever draw is for the comic, and the other majority of the art is for the YouTube channel, which also has to go kind of fast because I need that. When I get to take my time during rendering, like for these our models, they have to be cell shaded because GIFs don't really do well with soft shading methods.
Such is life.
So such is life. So I'm very excited for that. But right now it's just mammals broadly. I have specifically chosen these mammals because they are either a collar character base, a planned collar character base, again a planned collar character base, or we have a Kitsune in our new Pathfinder campaign as a player character, and also Mars is a gnoll that is a collarfied gnoll. The other person is just a anthrofox, sadly, not a collarfied anthrofox. But Mars is a collarfied gnoll. They're actually called Kobos or something. Colo.
Colos.
So a gnoll is basically an anthro hyena. Your mammal could. That was 2 weeks ago, Mason. We did humans. I'm sorry.
Can you believe it's been that long?
And then so we'll be doing. So when we do birds and reptiles, we'll probably have the caiman. We'll probably have the albatross. That Aster is. Probably have other things. My character is a collarfied magpie. So. A what? I don't know what the what was for, Grenade. I can't help, unfortunately.
That was a reference to Colo.
Okay, yeah, so gnoll is the common, collarfied is the word we're using. Collarfied. And that is where I make it, because you have furry, right? Which is like anthro...
I don't want to be furry. I want to be cool, half human, half animal hybrid, please.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Heads.
That's
okay.
That's
I enjoy furry art. I think fursuits are cool. I don't like drawing furries. So then on the other end of the spectrum, you have, a human, normie, boring, right? And then so somewhere like around here, I would put well, honestly, tiefling would be like a spectrum. I would say tiefling goes like...
Tiefling definitely
this is
runs
like
along a spectrum.
The tiefling spectrum. This is where like elves and dwarves would be.
Definitely.
This sort of area. And then you have collars are like... Honestly, they're technically in like this range. I would say, because depending on what kind of animal you do, depends on how much animal you have in you when I make you a collar. Collars. I guess Kimono Mimi is like in here in the middle. Honestly, I would actually put Kimono Mimi like technically more here, because this is like Cat Girl, where it's just like ears and a tail, Collars got more than that specifically. Are goblins mammals or reptiles? I'm pretty sure they're mammals. At least usually. I will say somebody in Dichotomy Games' server, who's an artist, Surreal Lamppost, has reflavored their goblinoids, all their goblinoids, to be marsupials, if I remember correctly. So that's pretty fun. You see scavengers? Yeah, we got the black-backed jackal, which has plans for a collar character in Outcast. And then you have like full furry over here. So basically, what we're doing is we're taking the full furry anthro animals and we're collarfying them. We are making them collars. And by we, I mean me, but that is what I'm talking about, and that is what Mars and I are talking about. So like a Tengu, which is what my character is literally the same thing as a Kenku in D&D terms. And it's a anthropomorphic raven guy. They're corvids, so they can be a lot of things. That's why it includes magpies and jays and stuff. I don't want to be that. I want to be a collar. So we're collarfying the Tengu Kenku. Mars is a Colo, which equals a gnoll in D&D terms. And they're hyena. This is all from memory. Let's see if I can hyena from memory. Not really. It looks like a bear, but that's okay. This is my hyena from memory.
Not half bad.
It's okay. And we're colorifying that. However, we have one person who's a kitsune, which is the nine-tailed fox, doesn't have a D&D thing equivalent. And they don't want to be colorified. They want to be a lame animal-headed character.
Or he's judging over here.
Yeah, so collars are what... Yeah, so Grenade, a collar is the animal people of Outcast. That is the name in that universe, and it has now become basically the name of that style of thing for us. You know, it's not widely accepted. Nobody fucking knows about it. Just you guys here and Mars and I. We made it a thing.
Folding Planets term.
Yeah, it's a Folding Planets original. But in my humble opinion, I have yet to find another word that is widely used on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I would love there to be another word. But this sort of vague middle ground that I mostly prefer to exist in does not seem to exist as a word in the general fandom space. Kimono Mimi is the closest term I have seen, and that is honestly more for the cat curl variety of animal person, where it's you have a human that's basically entirely human, but they have animal ears and animal tail, maybe antlers, maybe horns, right? Yeah, Folding Planets TM. So I have grouped collars in the past into Kimono Mimi, but the biggest difference to me that collars makes is really only their head and torso, and only like just the majority of the torso, not the entirety of the torso, is human, and the rest is like if a human became that part of the animal. So there's like a level of like way more furry in my opinion. Yeah, exactly, Pastry Puff. I think it's Kemono Mimi because it always reminds me of kimono, so I think it's Kemono Mimi. I could be wrong though. I could be mistaken. But yeah, so that's the closest word, but I still feel like when you search Kemono Mimi on the internet, you get like cat girls and stuff, which is not what I want. I did spell it right.
Close, but it's not there.
Yeah, it's all like cat girls. Here you go. This is the perfect example y'all need. You have Kemono, beast. You have Jujin, beast man, which is not what I want because the animal head is the difference. And then Kemono Mimi talks about beast ears, and they're usually just ears and a tail. But for me, for collars, it's very important that your hands and your legs are also animalistic. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I also push the teeth towards animalistic. I push the tongue towards that. Like, it's not just like a one size fits all. And that's what happens in the Outcast universe. But there's not another like, because I'm literally looking at like Kemono Mimi on the internet, and they're all like human plus ears and tail. Nothing else. It's human plus ears and tail every single time. Human plus ears and tail. Constant. And it's like, I need it to be different. Because also, when you look
like, this isn't the brand we want.
Because it's another thing, when you look at scales like this, they're not in here at all. You know what I'm saying?
Not even close.
Semi-furry is not what a collar is. You know what I'm saying? It's not here because they have fully human, nearly fully human faces. They specifically don't have furred or snouted faces, and they specifically have fully anthro legs. Not this weird like middle ground stuff. I don't even know. It's like there's just because then there's something.
Basically, cat leg with human bending abilities.
Wait, there's a second season?
There we go. Wait, where? When?
What?
When did that happen?
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad that you appreciate that, because it mattered to me, and it's a specific kind of way that I like to draw art specifically, right? Oh, it's a meme. My apologies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Ferrex doesn't have a
so
snout.
excited.
He has an animalistic nose, and that's as far as it goes. But he does not have a snout because he has a chin, and that's the difference. It's like a. Yeah, I see, Mason. The difference. He's closest to what I would say is called a flat-faced furry, which is a specific thing where it's like you have a furred face and all of the animal features, but you're not snouted, which is a specific thing as well. Flat-faced furry. Because it's very much like you don't have a full snout, but you still have a furred face. I'm trying to think of like a good... trying to find a good example. I see them when I'm not looking for them, and then you never find them again. Is this it? Open link and open. I want open image in new tab. It's so blurry.
That's the problem. You never find them once you're actually looking for them.
Okay, this is close. Something like this. Okay, they're fully furred. You know, sadly, furries can be digitigrade or still stupid human feet, but with toe beans and shit. But there's like, it's still like a human-y face. The terms are hard, and that's the problem that I have, is that when you say furry, you don't think of what a collar is. And when you say, okay, here's a flat-faced furry, something like this.
Let's see. Yeah, that's it.
Something like that, where there's no snout. And so Ferrex is closest to that, but he specifically has skin on his face. He just then has a wet nose, I guess is the way I would say it. He has a wet nose, which means that has the highest, the best sense of smell out of all the collars, because there's a whole thing that goes on with that. But so he has a wet nose. And yeah, oh yeah, no, they definitely were 100%. I mean, they were stylized top scars no matter what. I didn't even look at that part. I knew that immediately. That's how they're drawn 99% of the time. But yeah, so it's like there's just not a word for it. And so the word we're using is collar. And you know, you can spread the word, guys. Spread the word, because people do draw it. And okay, this is my biggest pet peeve. This is my biggest pet peeve about the fact that there is no real concrete word for it, is the fact that it's very difficult to find other artists that draw like this, because they're out there. I know they're out there. Because it's like they're closest to, maybe they're like what I would call like a tur, like a satyr, right? Like a satyr, you know, a tur, because they have the animal bottom half, and then satyrs a lot of times are depicted with ears and horns and stuff, but it just ends there. They would have forearms as well. Like, it's just a lot of...
Go further, please!
Yeah, it's pain. So they're their own species, which was never meant to be like its own species in that fact. It's just it literally comes from how I prefer to draw things. It's literally just like, I like animal features. That includes digitigrade legs, and I like the idea of having wings that are arms, because having an extra set of limbs is cool, it's not as scientifically, I'm doing air quotes, but you can't see them, scientifically accurate as not having more than 5 in quotes if you have a tail limbs. So it's like, that's what I wanted out of it, and that's what I wanted to like meld biology and fantasy, I guess. And that's what Outcast is. Very much a melding of like this could maybe possibly happen, but most likely not. But like in theory, and then like again, when you get into the genetics and stuff in it, I will admit there is a fair amount of hand waving, because to have what I wanted would take a lot to deal. And then there's a lot of issues that come with like sentient creatures having like, you can't have children across other sentient creatures viably, because it's like you could love the same, so it's like a whole, you know, there's too many levels, and I'm able to hand wave it because the science of Outcast in the world that Outcast exists in is not at a level where they could even feasibly test and find out the answers to these questions.
Everything
That's
out.
like a whole thing. Yeah. So it's like, no, genetics are weird, and this is what I've observed, but there's literally no way of testing yes or no, because you can't run like, for better, you know, lack of a better word, human trials, you know? So it's like,
God, I love the golden age of piracy.
I've not seen High Rise Invasion. I don't think Mars has either.
It sounds familiar, but I've never seen it.
Okay. I'm gonna get back into drawing this jackal now, after my really long rant about a lexical gap in a fandom space, which is really frustrating, because honestly, 90% of the time everybody's like, fandom has too many words, there's too many terms for this, and like, no, the one thing I care about the most,
this one does not
doesn't have a fucking word. I'm so upset every time, because all I want more in the world, most in the world, is to be able to find artists that do the same thing I do. And honestly, CritBit is getting there. CritBit getting there, no question. But it's definitely like, usually they do other stuff too, and it's like, I don't know. I like furry art, don't get me wrong. I love looking at stylized furry art. It's really great. Honestly, wish I was better at it, but not in enough way where I'm gonna sit down and try to learn that hard. I can struggle through it enough to make something decent, because I like animals and I have studied animals, so, you know, math, but anything beyond that is kind of we ain't trying that hard.
We're not going that ham.
I will say, I also like to use human faces. They're just more easily expressive. You have to, being a biologist, being somebody that studied, you know, evolution and animals and this sort of stuff, even though I'm a tree girly in the end, really definitely is like, oh, I had a point and I've lost it. Back it up. Oh, when like in animation, when like and stuff, when they really break the animal form to make it emote human, I don't have a problem with that. I'm not like upset that they do that, you know. I'm not like, oh god, no, why? But my heart is always like, I always want to try and be like as accurate as possible when I draw animals in a stylized way. And so I'm not trying to have the feathers that are somehow fingers and a thumb when birds have wings and hands. Like, while I don't have a problem of that existing as a thing, it's just not something I want to do with my art. And that's where we birthed the collars. This is a long-winded ridge. It's good. That sounds so unethical.
Indeed.
I don't know. Running human trials? No, it is very unethical. Basically, we're talking about how
incredibly unethical.
I have no capability or desire to make the collar species viable genetically in an actual fully scientific sense, because there would be a lot going on, and honestly I don't know if it would really be possible to have it at a capacity that the way I want it to be is without having like technically they're different species and they shouldn't be able to quote unquote, for lack of a better word, interbreed and have a viable offspring.
One of those things where it's just like, this is extra information, and while yes, it would be cool to have, it doesn't take away from the story at all.
No,
like,
yeah.
Not knowing the exact genetics of the collars doesn't affect how the story plays out or any like key moments. It'd be cool extra information to have, but it's not necessary reading.
And then what I was saying is that the world of Outcast is not scientifically advanced enough to have, say, things like genome mapping like we have to allow for an understanding of genetics beyond like Mendel's level. And then in order to understand them enough, you would have to run, as I said, human trials. And that's kind of really tough and, like you said, unethical to do. And we don't, well, while science has been through some shady things in real life, we're not trying to go that ham with Outcasts as an overall thing. That's a whole nother thing.
It's always something that could be discussed as a later date.
Basically,
we'll
yes.
see.
Because, well, no. No, enthusiast. Actual answer to your question is no. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say on that one. Because
I would want them to skip that era personally.
But Mars, they didn't though.
I know.
They didn't though.
I know.
They didn't though.
I know.
But that'll come up in the comic at some point. It will.
Yep.
The bigger thing is that it's more like I'd have to. It's definitely less like we don't have like what happened scientifically to people against their will, and more racism breeds eugenics, you know, like they kind of, because like innately, and not, man, I have to, honestly, I'd have to look up the exact definition of eugenics to see if it were exactly, if Outcast exactly has that. Yeah, no, it is definitely that, yes.
Yeah. There's
just not like a... No, I won't go into... You'll figure it out, Induce. Yeah.
Please,
I guess...
let the writer do what the writer does.
There's definitely not like a set, like... It's more along the lines... Because I'm walking the line of spoilers without, you know, we're trying to, because it's more along the, as you know, humans and callers can have viable offspring, right? That's a thing. We've talked about that. That's not a secret. We've talked about that, you know, in stream and everything like that. That's a viable thing that can happen. Specifically, that's important because they're not technically a different species. They're like a variety, as a whole nother thing to get into that, honestly, what does being a species means is a whole can of worms.
Yeah.
But because of that, there is obviously, you know, discrimination against callers. And so there's not necessarily like a very specific of like a scientific level sort of thing, but it is definitely more like, if you're prejudiced, you're not going to have a child with someone that you are prejudiced against, right? And so there's sort of like a level of that, and then there's some interplay that's interesting that we'll get into.
Really fucked in the head.
Or you have a very specific goal within your fucked up family line that screws up your child mentally in a way in the end. Yeah. Which that is spoilers if we get further into that. But I don't think it's spoilers to that point because you have no idea who this is.
Not because of the human caller pairing, but because one of the parents is an absolute piece of traumatizing shit.
It's a lot. There's a lot that goes into this.
I just want to affirm the mental struggles are not because of the pairing. It's because one of the parents is a piece of shit.
Yes. But the reason that the other parent got with this parent is for well-intentioned, though mildly dubious reasons.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And that's all we can say on
it's
that.
Very, the path to hell was paved with good intentions. You're totally not here, Kyra? All right.
Oh, not at all? Okay, Kyra.
But yeah, the path to hell was paved with good intentions is very much one of the parents. And the other parents is, I'm just a big bigot. Real bad. Real bad.
Big bad bigot.
So,
That'd
but
be
that's
rough
for
on
you
kid.
all to find out in the comic.
In a year or so, maybe.
Well, we're definitely getting a lot of characters pretty soon. Not one of
Yes.
those
I'm
characters, though.
so excited.
Your studies have led you to this moment? Wait, what studies?
I'm glad. Maybe.
Are you your studies of you're going to suss out who we're talking about, or your studies of you're ready to go into the deep I don't know what the word would be, analysis of the comic and all of our characters' issues, mental struggles?
The outcast underbelly, if you will.
Right now, Kyra, I am attempting to do specifically a black-backed jackal sort of a figure study, I guess is the word. And they're coming along pretty nice.
We're doing some mammal studies because Ori has a class.
Enthused, then this whole thing is very up your alley with that.
Oh yes.
So you'll have fun as we get into it. I do want to preface this because Pastry Pup did say so before we talked about I do plan to eventually get to the point where we do have like a whole thing on the species of collars and how they work to a level that someone like Hotson in the world would understand. You know, so again, we don't have like genome, mapping and shit. But like basically like scientific observations of the time sort of thing, and how it works. And I just want to preface that I am not going to behold myself to anything said previously necessarily. I think the vast majority of it is still accurate. I just more want to point out that, like, honestly, guys, we're a little fluid with how we write Outcast. So until something is officially posted in the comic or specifically posted as a posted thing, it technically is subject to change, possibly. Though we are trying not to sped the things that, like, we don't know anything about at all. Does that make sense?
But it is one of those situations where if there is an explanation that serves the story more effectively and more satisfyingly,
it will be changed. So nothing is.
We will go that
everything
route.
is dubiously canon until the comic makes it so, or specific additive material in the comic. So like, if we were like the stuff we posted in like the character bios stuff on the webtoon is not dubiously canon anymore the second that it like exists. So the reason it's not super 40k of me in my opinion, Grenade, is because they publish actual shit. They fully publish shit and then they like retract it later. Like they like what's the word? They retrofit it. That's not the word I want though.
Retroactively.
Yeah, that.
Adjust it.
You know. And so they retcon. That's the word I wanted, Renee. Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah,
Semi-canon until
proven canon. Yeah, retcon. That's the word I want.
Retcon.
Except
Thank
no.
You. Why was
what do you
that
mean?
Word
Except
escaping
no.
Me? Why was that word escaping me? Bad Mars.
What do you mean? Except no. I'm not in the 40k space, so. Okay, this is just too short.
Okay.
There we go.
All
that
right.
looks better.
I'm doing all right tonight. I did 1, 2, 3.
Everything is from some. Okay, well that is not the method I'm talking about. I'm more just talking about if Ori says like, yeah, a collar works this way genetically, and then later on it's like, oh shit, that doesn't work really for the story. We got to do it this way. It's not canon. That is subject to change. I'm not going to behold myself to that if we need to do something for the narrative we want to tell.
When we do this, it's more like sharing our thought process.
Yeah, exactly.
Of how we kind
of have nothing, not nothing. We have very little fully, but we don't have a lot fully concrete at any given time until it is written into the story. We have a lot of like, ooh, this vibe idea works right now, but maybe we decide, but this would be cooler. You know, this would work better for the narrative we want to tell. And so that's why I'm just like, we
this
keep continuity
better.
and keep all that stuff.
Yeah, guys, surprising fact, you can keep continuity while changing some aspects of your story.
Effect? What's the Rashomon effect?
All the time.
Is that what it's from someone's perspective?
I wish I had an answer for you, Kyra.
Because I will say, when the collar things come out, it will likely be in the vibe of Hotsun's, like, notes on the thing, but the goal would not be to use it in a way where it's like, oh, he gets things wrong and stuff, and it would be more just, this is the level of knowledge that they have, and versus like, I'm omnipotent god of the species, I know everything, you know, like, I'm not trying to do that kind of guide. It's more like this is a practical, that's the word, it would be a practical guide versus a scientific guide. It'd be an observational guide versus a molecular guide. I don't know what the opposite of observational would be. Like a scientific
I'd say observational
guide,
review versus an in-depth textbook.
Yeah, exactly. Because if I'm being honest, the species of colors does not exist in a way that could be as scientific as I would ideally want it to be and still hit all the points that we need to have. And like I said, the biggest thing is with like I wanted colors to be any species of vertebrate at all. Just that's fun for Ori. I wanted them to be able to, everybody can love anybody they want to love and have viable children, because that's like a whole level of issues. If it's like, oh shit, I love you and I want to have a child, but we're literally subjecting them to never having children of their own. This is a moral quandary. We don't want to deal with that. Don't want to deal with that. And then on top of that, I don't want to deal with the level of genetics that means that everything can be mixed at any time, and you can have, you know, scale hybrid things. And then it's like, honestly, I feel like at this point, technically, none of the colors, I mean, this was never at this point. Technically, none of the colors are ever actually that animal in any actual way. They're like analogous to the animal. But so they would be split up more in like feather versus scale versus fur, but they're never a reptile. Milano is fully a mammal, you know, same with Aster's never a bird, he's fully a mammal. They're all, Sinit's never a shark, he's fully a mammal. And so it's very much like
the closest they get to like being animal, and not even genetically, but just like in behavior. I definitely want to have like a moment where Milano goes like almost berserk mode and he's like on all fours.
Yeah, but like a human can do that. No, there's no laying eggs. Everybody is a placental mammal. Everybody is a placental mammal because evolutionarily you have to think about it. It's human first, collar second, right? So the humans evolved into the collars, and it's dubiously. Yeah, exactly, Enthuse. Exactly. I don't want it to be like, oh, I have a frog mom and a faucet dad, and now I'm a child, and it's like, what parts do I make a frog? What parts do I make a fossa? What parts, you know, was my mother fully frog? You know, like, what species? Like, that's not the point. The point of making them animals is for, honestly, rule of cool factor. Like, making them specifically based off real life animals. I just think that's a cool idea. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, to get into it would be a lot. And so honestly, that's why I'm constantly playing around with the way of like, how would I split up the colors into levels that are simpler than reptile, amphibian, fish, mammal, bird. Like, that's a lot of things. You know, to me, I think I'm like constantly tossing around. It's like you have scale, feather, fur, scale, feather, fur, and fur would include
most straightforward way to simplify
and that would mean that like Sinit and Milano would both be like scale collars, and then you would have Aster's feather and Ferrex's fur. Pangolin's collars would still be fur, because that while they do have scales, it's more like hair than an actual scale, but like these sort of things. It does get dicey with amphibians then, so like I'm not set on it yet, but it's more just like trying to figure out a way where you can have some sort of idea of what happens when two callers have a child, or when a caller and a human have a child, and there's like some of that is important to our storytelling, so it does matter to a certain extent, but it is something that like I want to make sure that is fully concrete with how our story goes first and logic second. So there is a couple levels of like iteration that have to happen. I do have like a first level iteration, but the more I think about it is because I also don't want it to be like incredibly complicated. Not even just for me, but for you. I don't want it to be like, God, I'm reading a science textbook. I don't think that's interesting. Yeah. I don't think that's fun. And I do really love the idea of it being told from quote unquote Hotson's perspective, but again, not in a 40K way. Just in like a fun storytelling framing way.
It's the understanding of somebody who lives in this world.
So it's like, for a very example, it would be something along the lines that there would still be a fair amount of dubious is not the word, just like unknowns, you know, that just even the world itself doesn't know, that I'm not going to try and flesh out because it would just lead to a level of complexity that it is meaningless and I just can't even fathom, and like it would really go into a lot of shit and honestly open up more possibilities than we can really deal with.
Like it plays into the idea people fear what they do not understand.
Yeah, that too.
And pretty much society and the military especially is prejudiced against the callers for reasons.
Yeah.
Not logical reasons, but to them it makes sense.
Yeah. Everyone who is against an idea, you know, homophobic, transphobic, any like that, they have reasons in heavy quotation marks, but
shitty
you know,
reasons.
yeah, they're not valid, true, or good reasons necessarily.
No,
but when
all.
You have an area where it is actually unknown, where we literally just don't have the science to do that. Like, thankfully, in our current universe now, we have a lot of science to prove that, like, no, you're actually, like, inherently wrong. We literally have facts to prove that. In Outcast world, it's definitely, I think they're just listening, Kyra. They're just chilling, listening to our rants. Probably doing other stuff too. You only have two hands, you know, if you're drawing, if you're writing, if you're doing whatever. Yeah, so it'd be very, like, the way I'm thinking of it very much is like there's no quote unquote hybrid callers, where if a frog and a bird themed caller, I think themed is the best word to do it, right, have a child, you wouldn't have a frog bird child, you know, it would have to be a quote unquote full animal caller child. And it's like, so I want there to be some sort of logic to that, where it's not like you just pop out anything random, anything at all. I feel like that is a little like, you know, genetics don't really work that way, but my brain has died. But it would be like, you know, I've never seen, you know, a hybrid, like, you know, we're saying from hosts, like, I've never seen like a caller, you know, child have like different features from different types of animals. You know, that doesn't mean it can't exist, but it doesn't seem to happen, or maybe the child just unfortunately couldn't survive if such a mutation occurred, right? You know, there's something genetically, because like in real life genetics, there's something called like linked genes, right? So there's genes that almost always in the norm come together. They exist together, and we have a lot of those because a lot of them are very important as to literally
is one of them, right?
Huh?
Eye color is one of them.
I think eye color has a few of them, but there's there's a lot of linked genes which are very important to be linked because it's literally making your body function effectively. So it would be like, okay, like they would have to be linked in some way logically, that it's like, okay, if you have, because it's like, you're not gonna have like somebody that's a caller that has like wings for arms and just not have feathers. If they had like a human parent, right, and a caller parent, you're not gonna have like chicken wing, you know, featherless arms. Like, we just don't want that to be a thing, right? Like, I don't want that to be a thing that happens. So it would be like all those genes would be linked together somehow. You know, getting into how doesn't really matter, but it would definitely be like, that's a full thing.
Yeah.
Right? That's a full together. And so it is very much just stuff like that I really want to make sure I have nailed down to the point that it is not as hand-wavy feeling as it currently is, but there still will have to be a level of unknown, because both, I don't want to get into it, can't possibly get into it, and two, that is the world Outcast lived in, with this is the level of knowledge that they actually have, and things like that. Because basically I would overall in your head currently treat callers being different quote-unquote like animal species as similar as to humans having different quote-unquote varieties, right? You can have different skin colors, you can have different hair colors, you can have different eye colors. Just think of that on the bigger scale of you can have scales or feathers or fur or, you know, amphibian skin, right? You know, it would be similar to that level where it is, you know, dog breeds, right? They're all dogs, but there's still varieties.
There's still
right?
things that distinguish
there's
them
still
from others.
a lot of varieties, and you can see it though when you have like true, like what's called a super mutt in a dog, right? Like where it's like it's just might as well be its own thing. You know, that's kind of how it would more work than when you have like a Pomsky where it's like, no, I can very obviously tell that's a Pomeranian, a Husky. Like, come on. You know, like it's not that level. Ooh, you know, good example. You know when you have like when you have lab retrievers and some of them are just golden and some of them are just black.
Yes.
It's more like that, where it's very like, thank you, Enthuse. I mean, railing and yeah, you know, we're keeping that in. Railing the conversation in any way is more than welcome. Mars and I could talk about anything for basically totally any amount of time if anyone doesn't stop us.
Honestly.
So, but thank you, Enthuse. I'm glad you like it, because I will say this is specifically the animal for a fairly prevalent caller character that will eventually happen. Not as soon as the other one. I will say, I'm gonna secrets, guys. Secret, Outcast secrets. Not the first entry that comes out of the hiatus, but the second will involve the caller character that has Badger. American Badger. And I love him. He's great. Very excited to have this whole thing. You will get to see him drawn a lot.
He's a kick-ass boy.
Before in the comic, and the reason for that is because I do want to do what I am calling style settling, and that's where you redraw, where you do the proper good comic artist thing, where you redraw your character over and over and over again to settle its design before actually drawing them in the comic. I obviously, very obviously, did not do that with the Outcast boys. It's more like actually taking the time. Before it's like, we want to do the comic. And we're doing the comic. So there's not a lot of time. Will you fight against the Russian Badger?
Reverse that.
You won't fight against the Russian Badger. But,
sadly, no.
You will be in altercations, that's for sure. We did specifically pick American Badger over the European Badger for his angry. It's angry.
We didn't want the chill, calm Badger. No.
No.
We wanted fiery, rebellious.
We didn't want cute Wind in the Willows Badger. We wanted angry snarl. Stereotypically, people would be like, oh, he has rabies, Badger.
Yes.
Okay, I'm actually gonna clear those just because I want this space. I was gonna draw this city boy. Look at them.
If you guys want, you can speculate what his role is gonna be in the comic.
Yeah.
That could be fun. Let's see how close you guys get.
Yeah, we shan't confirm or deny because spoilers. But could be fun. What else? But then this Jackal will also be a caller character.
I'll give people a couple hints. He's gonna have an interaction with Avrit.
Ooh.
He's very rebellious and has a strong sense of justice.
These are a lot of hints.
And
enemies to lovers? Ooh, with who? With who?
Enemies to lovers!
With Everett? Enemies to lovers with Everett? I'm curious.
Damn!
Who's He's a police. Okay, interesting, interesting.
There was no hesitation on that one,
with
too. With enemies to lovers, there was no hesitation. God damn.
I'm all right, Grenade. I need to suss out if you'd actually be here for this character. Pick your top 5 Ace Attorney characters for that smash.
Oh, that's a good test.
I'm just trying to see because he has a specific look to him. I think he's still hot, but I will say I have tried to branch out a little more with like overall body shape. You don't know if you could name 5? All right. I don't know. What's your top 2? I don't know. Give some characters that is totally the vibe. Grenade. They could be any characters as long as I can look them up.
You can do it. We believe in you.
With no spoilers of anything. If we talk about Everett phased back in. Breathing? Okay, I mean, then I guess, you know, if it's breathing. I mean, you know. Like I said, I'm here for him, but I'm literally here. I'm gonna tell you. I've said this before and I'll say it again, and it is not intentional. I find it very difficult to draw a character that I don't find attractive. And what's hilarious is the fact that it's like, I'm specifically sitting here, like pushing body types, pushing like, you know, really trying to get like variety in there. And it's like, but you're still really hot. You're still really hot though, all of you. Like, yes, you older lady, yes, people will definitely want you to step on them. You look real good. You crazed guy over there in the corner, you know, damn, I like you too. This character we're talking about, Badger Boy, I'm not gonna tell him his name yet. It's just like, damn.
Ori literally went, oops, all sexy.
Drew said, I didn't design Sid though, Mason. I didn't design, but Sid's cute. She's cute.
Sid is very cute.
Sid's a cutie.
I'm excited to see more.
But I'm saying like the only character that I'm like not here for is Olus, and I specifically had to try. I'm really concerned. Honestly, my biggest concern is we have a character.
There's gonna be someone though who's here for Olus.
Well, I mean, there's somebody here for everybody. That's not the point that I'm trying to make here, you know. But like, there's a character that I feel like Mars and I might have a tough time with the nailing down, because I feel like I'm gonna go one route and Mars is gonna be like, but this is what I had in my mind, and I'm gonna be like, oh, but
or if you're talking about the character, I think you're talking about we could definitely reach a compromise.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think so.
Because I feel like my compromise is Gellig. That's what I imagine. Gellig vibes. But you've
I'm not entirely sure if we're thinking of the same character.
I'll tell you the character.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm thinking about him too.
Okay, yeah. You know Gellig from the Watery Grave.
I feel like the base is good. I don't know about the rest.
See, this is what I'm saying. You've definitely talked about it way before. What kind of ants? I hope they weren't like fire ants, Kyra, because that would be painful.
That would hurt.
That would hurt
okay,
a lot.
Kyra. I almost swallowed a spider, so.
Oof.
Been there, done
the
that.
question I would have, Kyra, is how purposeful was this action, and how old were you?
That is a very valid question. Just normal ants. Okay, so they weren't fire ants.
That's good.
That's always a plus.
That's always a plus.
That's good.
I feel like this has to be more compact in here. Like this.
Speaking of good, these eyes are fire.
No, not fire ants.
Ori, I'm actually getting good at putting the pupils where they should be. Or, you know,
nice.
At least I think I am.
We'll test you later.
I could be entirely wrong.
Okay, I'm very excited for this character.
Better.
This is literally, they're literally a canid. And all I could think about with the tail like this is it fucking wagging back and forth. It's just such a wag tail. Look at it.
I mean, that's why we give them tails.
Dogs are so good, man.
Like, no, I'm not happy. Of course I'm not happy. Furiously wagging tail.
Mm-hmm. So good. It's just wild doggo, guys.
If not friend, then why friend-shaped?
I mean, you know, that's how art be, Kyra. That's how art be. Gotta tell you.
Oh.
Sometimes you just fucking vibe.
That's the story to end all stories.
Oh, look at them. Such a cutie.
Okay, but Kyra, we still need to know, what were the circumstances that you ate ants? And when? And where?
God,
and
designing
how?
this character is gonna be a time. I'm gonna love this character too much. Look at them. Look at the doggo. The long doggo.
I love the happy tail. It's just
I had
so
to.
cute.
I had to add that in. It was too good.
He's gonna be a tall boy. Oh, you picked it up from the front door and ate it?
Just now?
No, I feel like the just is just like, I just did it. Like, no rhyme or reason. I just did it. Like, not I just now did it.
All
I
right.
don't know. Kyra, confirm or deny. We need help.
Now we're into fox. I love this one with the fox. But
foxes are one of my favorite animals. Look at that coat. It's such a beautiful animal.
now, technically, the kitsune character will be a marble fox, but a marble fox is just a color morph of the red fox. So
it's just a fox with a different skin.
Yeah.
A different
It's not a different species as fox. It's literally just a color morph of the red fox. So
there's a wildlife sanctuary near where I live. And we occasionally visit it every now and then. But a couple of years ago, they had the cutest little fox there. He was in recovery. I think he hurt his leg, if I remember correctly. And he couldn't be re-released for some reason. Don't remember why. But he just kind of like, he lived in the sanctuary for the rest of his life. But he was so cute. He loved running around. He loved playing with his little kick toys. He was just the sweetest little thing.
You're probably by because Disney Robin Hood. I mean, you know, what's her name? It's Robin Hood. What's her name?
Maid Marian.
Marian. I'm like Marie. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. It's Midnight Brain. Shush your bush.
That's Midnight Brain.
Yes.
Okay. Don't remember the iconic Maid Marian.
Sorry, not really. Life happens. There's so many things to remember, Mars.
There's so many anthropomorphic female foxes for you to keep track of.
I mean, if you want to get fucking technical, yes. Are they official Disney ones from like big companies? No, but fucking hell, Mars. Yeah, it's like saying I could throw a dart and find freaking anthropomorphic fox characters that I have in my head. Okay, like Jesus Christ.
Well, goddamn, I didn't know so many lived there rent-free. You should start charging.
Enthuse, I so greatly appreciate the effort you have at allowing us to view memes without spoilers, because this fucking lineup of what are they called? Animal Crossing characters for Ace Attorney characters is just amazing. It's just lovely. It's just, I love it.
Dahlia as a deer makes way too much fucking sense. Larry as a monkey, absolutely. Gumshoe as a bear, yup. Phoenix as a hedgehog, just. Oh, that's too on brand. I love it.
So good. I love it. This amount of effort, I appreciate so greatly. You did it again with like the color sprite lineup thing. And it's just like, thank you.
So good. Thank you, thank you. You provided good food on this night. The night we feast. Is this a tooth? I think that's a tooth.
That's so wild, dude. Your little computer glitch. Oh, fuck.
What fuck? What happened?
Trivia.
Uh-oh.
That's my guess.
Oh boy.
I guessed.
I don't know how I'm gonna do.
I tried. You
I
pressed
will
F?
try momentarily.
What?
I want to finish
F in the
this
chat.
Milano.
Yes, Phoenix Wright as a hedgehog is very canon.
Tonight. Oh, it just works. It's on brand.
Oh, I forgot PCM posted stuff of the quote-unquote friends. And memes. Oh, she going.
History will say
grabbing
they were
them
just
kneecaps,
friends.
removing them.
Ooh. Ooh. Say goodbye to your kneecaps, asshole.
Yeah, say goodbye to your kneecaps, asshole.
Damn.
Ah.
Why'd you yawn, or?
Right, Junior? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, not really, but I'm sorry.
Ooh, I am proud of this Milano. You looking fly. Did I color the other one the wrong mouth color?
Uh-oh.
You know what? That's a problem for later. I'll do a once over before I send it.
She says, we'll see.
It's colored. I'm happy. I'm getting closer to the goal. The destination is almost in sight. Ooh, now we get to the fun panel. Yes, yes. Let's do it.
I'm not
Alrighty.
I don't know
Let
what
us
the
see
answer
what the
is.
trivia is.
I
can do this on my phone, actually.
boop, boop, boop. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. I don't know, Enthuse. I think it was much more of a color than you said. I don't know if you looked it up.
Yeah, let's see this trivia.
Can't spoil it because Mars has to do it. Their necks are so small.
The color? Okay, let me think. Let me see it.
So floofy.
Okay, it couldn't have been that color because then it would have blended right in.
Oh, look at the floofy. They have this.
Definitely wasn't that.
That. So chunk.
I'm gonna say this.
I don't know. His name is Umir. And we haven't really gotten to play very much with him. So we'll see.
I'm gonna go with this color. Oh shit, I got it right.
Damn.
Noise.
Honestly, I feel like that one was kind of process of elimination because, like, the first color I was thinking of, I was like, I want to say yes, but that would have clashed, like, in the scene and you wouldn't have been able to see it. So it can't be that. Can't be what I'm thinking of. Like, what color would stand out in that particular scene? So I was like, this color, right?
The fox is just standing so pretty.
It is a very pretty fox. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do.
Little legs. Beautiful.
Or maybe that is what I wanted to do.
Okay. Now we have fox.
We shall find out.
Now I will attempt to draw fox. How dare this fox not have... How dare I not get any references that don't have the fox facing off to the side? Except this one, which is kind of weird. But, you know.
Tis Corey.
Sometimes you want to see foxes. They're tough to see if you're not in the right area, and they don't like people very much. So they're definitely more aloof. Now, domestic foxes, though, those are kind of a thing. Soon-ish, kind of.
Yeah. Kind of becoming more of a thing.
It's one of those things, guys, where it's like, we were spoiled. We're so spoiled with dogs and cats that it's like everything domesticated is we're like, it's gonna be like one of those. You gotta put it into the box of dog, like you know, a dog or cat. I mean, dog even bigger than that. You know, everything is like, oh, it's like a dog. It's like a dog. You know, wagging tail. That's literally just a fucking dog thing. But it's just so dog. You know, and so it's just like, a lot of things, even when domesticated, aren't very dog. And so it's just like, I just want more variety of dog, you know? I don't need I just want fox but a dog. And that's what makes life hard. Well, exactly, Grenade. You're proving the point. I always point back to, you know, you had Night at the Museum. Big T-Rex skeleton. It was really great and cute because it's literally just dog. Literally just dog.
Arlo from The Good Dinosaur, he's a human, but he's also a dog.
A dog to the dinosaur.
God, I have not seen that movie in forever. I think I only watched it once and then that was it.
But it's just very like...
It's so funny how the default for like, this is a creature we need to turn into a pet. Dog.
Yeah. And I will say, every once in a while you do get cat. You do get cat.
But it's kind of rare.
But it's fairly rare. I think the reason for that is the aloofness of cats. Because even like a cat that, you know, when we talk about dog,
a bit more universal
they're
than
still
the cuddly cat.
Yeah, they're still pretty. And I'm just saying, when you get it like a non-aloof cat, what do you say? That cat's like a dog. I'm just saying.
Even when they're good, they can't escape the stigma.
It's just like a baseline, because think about it. What are the traits that we like? We like cuddly, you know, energetic, happy, right? You know, sociable, right?
Yeah.
And just vast majority of dogs are like that.
Extrovert animals.
Literally animal gender. Yeah, it literally is animal gender. And that is like, I love that so much, Enthuse. Actually,
want to be introverts
way too much to be because it's like, fuck that. I'm not a cat or dog person where I actually care about the species. I'm a fucking dog person because I want it to be happy when I come home. I don't want it to be like you know, I don't think there's a cat that you shouldn't love, but my aunt definitely has taken in a lot of cats off the street, and it's very much, it's like they go do their own thing and you feed them, and every once in a while they come and maybe let you pet them, but it's like,
and clean their litter box. Don't forget that.
Yeah, and it's like,
Important service.
That's fine and good, and like, you know, animals deserve to be treated that way, and cats shouldn't be on the streets. I totally get that. It's like, that's not the kind of cat I would want. Now, if I had a cat like fucking, you know, Mars's cat, or a bunch of the cats you see like influencers have, it's like, fuck yeah, let's go. That's no problem, you know. Let's do it. But the difference is,
to believe more cats are more loving than we've been led to believe.
I think it's a combination of two things. One, the amount of cats that are found as strays compared to dogs is significant. You rarely hear of like, oh, I found this dog on like the dog distribution system. It happens. There's certainly sad stories about dogs, you know, and puppies being strays and you know, all this sort of stuff. But it's like, cat is like, what, you bought a cat? You know, like, that's kind of like a what? You know, like nobody buys a cat.
Who does that? You wait for the cat distribution system to grace you.
Exactly. So it's definitely like a different vibe. And because of that different vibe as well, you have a lot of, you know, feral cats that have to warm up, you know, but also may never be loving because they are feral, you know, and it's just like,
they grew up on them rough streets.
I think it's a combination. You know, and I do think it's also just a bit of like, well, I think a lot of cats can be very loving to their owners.
It also comes from like people misreading cats' body language.
Well, see, and that's the other thing about being like we do dogs. Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, you interact with a cat, it's not going to act like a dog.
No,
it's an
exactly.
entirely different body language. They have a totally different way of communicating.
They're really far removed from each other, you know, taxonomically. Okay, I don't know. This fox is not doing it.
Like, ooh, furry pet, it must behave like a dog.
Exactly.
And then that's where they run into the, oh, wait, this isn't a dog at all.
And now they're stereotyped into like, oh, but now you're an asshole because I can't understand you. And that's a big problem too.
Skill issue. You know what? Skill issue.
Really, it really is a skill issue. And I think the other thing is just the fact that it's like, cats are more aloof off the bat. You rarely have cats that are fully 100% I love every stranger all the time, versus you have a friendly dog or you have a dog that doesn't like anybody, you know? But like,
my very first cat scurry was, we took her in as a kitten. She was very young, she was very small, so she like grew up with us. Like
it's all about socialization.
Got the chance to socialize her. Exactly.
It's all about socialization.
She was a very loving girly. My next cat, Simba, she was just sick of being out in the cold. Like, this poor cat, guys, when I tell you her story, like, she wasn't suffering, but she wasn't having the best time of her life.
She wasn't thriving.
She showed up, no, not at all. She showed up in our backyard and she had matted fur, and she was a long-haired cat. So she had this matted fur, she was skinny, you could kind of see her ribs, and like, we started feeding her outside. And then one day she got in a fight with one of our neighbors' cats, because that cat liked to wander from house to around the street, which, you know, that's a choice. But he got in a fight with her, and she lost. She lost very bad. She got really badly beat up. She was not having a good time. Luckily, nothing serious. Like, she didn't need to be brought into the vet for any injuries, but like, she did not win that fight. She definitely had to leave with that white flag behind her. The defeat flag.
Surrender.
But surrender, thank you. Words are hard, guys.
Oh, yeah.
But then also around that time, so the deal my mom and I had made was, we didn't know if we should take in another cat, because we still had Scurry at the time, and she freaked out anytime Simba came up to the door. Like, I'm talking tail puff, back arch, that little...
I can picture it.
She was not happy. She was so pissed. I got in the middle of one of those scuffles. Like, we have a glass door in our front entrance. So they could see each other through that. Simba would walk right up and kind of peer inside like, ooh, what's going on here? And Scurry would like come up and see like, oh, you're on my territory? You're on my territory?
This is my turf.
Oh yeah, she was territorial as hell. But I go over there and I'm kind of like, okay, like, this was the dumbest thing I could have done. I tried to push her away from the door because I'm like, okay, Scurry, calm down. And I used my foot to do it. My foot was in shreds.
Yeah, Jesus.
It was really bad. Shish kebab that night because Jesus Christ, filleted. Thank you, filleted. That's more the word. So,
good night, Mason.
Good night, Mason. Thanks for hanging. So yeah, my mom and I were like heavily debating, like, Scurry is not taking to her at all. Like, should we take this cat in? So we basically said like, okay, let's keep an eye out for flyers. Like if anyone's missing a cat, like let's ask around. And like if it starts getting colder and no one's claimed her, we'll take her in. And lo and behold, time passed. It got colder. We heard nothing. There were no flyers ever. There were no posters, no missing cats, no nothing. No one ever said anything. No one ever said like, oh yeah, I heard so-and-so is missing a cat. So one day we're like, oh, okay, I guess she's moving in. So we open the back door, and the back door leads to our laundry room. It's very warm in there because there's a dryer, there's the washer, there's all these warm machines in there. Guys, Simba bolted into there like she just belonged. She was like, I am done outside. I am done with the cold. I am ready to be a house cat. I am ready to be an indoor cat. Goodbye, outdoors. And she just bolted into that laundry room and shook herself off like she had just come home. I was like, wow, that had to be the smoothest transition I've ever seen. And then we got the two cats to socialize with each other. They actually started sleeping together and cuddling together, so that was very cute. Yeah, they were very sweet. Scurry actually, like, I've heard stories of animals mourning when like their pet companion passes, but I've never seen it. And I saw it with Scurry like after Simba sadly passed, and I was like, oh wow, that's an actual thing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Didn't
it's
realize.
Crazy because they do it in a way, because it depends on, like, at least in my personal experience, because I had, so the biggest sort of like dogs, I had two dogs at the same time that were, you know, together for a very long time. And while I would never say they were like super cuddly, where they never really, you know, cuddled, because one loved to be as warm as possible and the other one would get too hot, so like they never really like cuddled together, and they never really seemed to be like super bro buddy. Yes, the head first dive. Yes, Mrau, yes.
It's so good. Hey, Mrau.
And but definitely when our older dog, Cassie, we had to unfortunately have her put down because she didn't pass in the presence of my other dog. It was very much like she was just very confused. You know, like it was like, where is she? Where'd she go? You know, because she couldn't
mine too.
understand, right? Versus we had a cat that, you know, he went missing, and this was with the older dog Cassie. When the cat was around, he went missing, and he came back to, unfortunately, you know, pass away on, you know, in our kitchen. But you know, we were appreciative that he came back, so we would know. But at least at that point, it's like the dog was there, right? The dog could know.
What happened.
Yeah, it wasn't like they went away and never came back. So it is like an interesting sort of vibe.
Yeah, because Scurry had a very similar reaction to that. Like she started looking for Simba everywhere.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
she couldn't find her, she would meow. But the whole thing in sharing that story, like getting back to the whole topic, is that Simba, for what I know, was quote unquote
we're not
feral.
trying to be
Like,
sad,
she lived
Mrau.
outside.
We're talking about
I'm
dog
sorry,
and cat
Mrau.
vibes.
I'm sorry, Mrau.
Mars made it sad. It's all Mars's fault.
I'm sorry. The point I was trying to make is that Simba, to my knowledge, spent her whole life outside until we took her in. So technically, under that classification, she was feral. but she was the most loving girl. I think just because life was beating her up so much, she was ready to accept whatever we gave her.
See, what's
she
interesting...
was like, oh shit, I got a warm bed, I got food, I don't have to hunt anymore, like this is great. And she wanted to cuddle. She was ready for it. She wanted to be a house cat.
What I think is interesting is I would say that no, she wasn't feral, because to me, to my understanding, the definition of feral is specifically that they are now scared, afraid, and skittish of people. Because domesticated, basically the like sign of domestication is being overall friendly towards humans all of the time in general. Yeah, versus like
comfortability with humans.
Yeah, exactly. Basically. Versus feral is they've been away outside of basically society for so long that they are now fully skittish, untrusting, and anything. But what's very interesting, so the fact that Simba like came in and was like, "This is my home now," would say that she was never feral. But what's very interesting is that domestication is is genetic, right? That's the level, because there's tame, that's on one, an individual level, and two, never fully 100%, basically. A tamed creature can quote unquote revert at any time for any reason we don't really understand, versus domestication is literally fully bred in and is a genetic thing that is genetically passed down, and it comes with a lot of traits that like non-domesticated things have, like wolves have, yeah, basically there's wolves never have curly tails, just never ever. That's like unlocked with domestication, you know. So there's like floppy ears, you know, like it's like unlocked with domestication, which is a very interesting thing to think about. So there's traits that only come about during a domestication process and aren't even just morphs that we like are, oh, these are acceptable because, you know, you don't need the advantage that not having that gives you to like hunt and live in the wild or something. It's literally just like, no. This genetic thing never exists outside of domestication, which is very interesting.
And that is why there you go. Do not see dog or cat collars in Outcasts, because domestication never happened.
But yeah, Morales said it too.
That would be incredibly uncomfortable.
They're seeing it in foxes, in the fox decimation project.
Yeah.
Where they're actually domesticating. So, yeah, it's very interesting.
Fascinating stuff.
Ooh, spotty coats? I know white. Ooh. White is a thing that, like, does exist in the wild, but is usually, you know, if you're not, like, an Arctic snowy creature, is usually bad for you. So it's usually, like, geneticed out. What's the word? Natural selectioned out, basically, because it's just not advantageous.
Geneticed out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that.
And so, yeah, lots of interesting stuff. Okay. The foxes are chunkier and rounder. Bicolor?
Can't lose that chunk.
Yeah, so it's domestication doing well. But yeah, so that's a big thing. Same with like all other domestic breeds. Like you're not gonna see cows because we don't have the sort of the ancestor, the auroch is gone. So we're not doing, you know, like woolly mammoths and stuff. You're not having those sort of things. Okay, the fox is hard. Foxes are tough. I don't know what's up.
Okay, Milano, you should not be taking as long as you are.
Versus from Connect, we're trying.
Or I'm just struggling.
I am certainly just struggling.
I'm just like, how did I blaze through 6 Ferrexes the other night, who is arguably harder to color? And yet Milano is where I'm like, I'm slow. Like, why?
Yeah.
Logic, please. I need some.
Nope.
Why?
You ain't getting any.
Why? Tell me why.
Ain't
Why?
nothing but a difficult day. Sometimes you get in the zone and it goes away.
Yeah,
Not all
I
the
went from
time.
doing 10 panels in a single night to only 5. I'm
Kyra's
like,
struggling to draw a straight line. You almost flipped your lid
forget
today?
It's a damn straight line. Oh, what made you slip your lid? Flip your lid.
slip the lid. Okay, why do you feel...
Okay, if flipping the lid is freaking out and going off, what is slipping the lid?
Losing your mind. Like going crazy, insane. Like Midnight Brain. My lid is slipping.
Then I am currently slipping my lid.
Yeah, we're all
Please
slipping the
and
lid
thank
right
you.
now.
Oh no!
What?
Oh, that sucks, Meow.
Oh,
Does that happen?
did you figure it out? What the heck? That's so weird.
I didn't even know it could do that.
Yeah, I don't think Rao even knew it could do that.
Brain lock on 2? That makes no sense.
Wild.
What,
Well,
is there
I'm
an
so sorry
update
for
that
you.
undid something?
Jeez, what do you even
That's so
do?
weird. Were you able to fix it?
Yeah, or did you go too far? One time I accidentally deleted a whole layer and I didn't realize until it was way too far back to undo. Okay,
Oh,
that's
good.
yeah.
That's good. I'm glad you didn't lose it.
Mrao, you gotta hear this one. So one time, so this is you, Mars. I'm putting you on blast.
Oh man!
Because this is so funny. This whole one is so funny to me.
Now I'm racking my brain trying to think what the hell I did.
You'll realize it right away. You know what you did.
Oh god.
So I'm literally gonna start the story and you're gonna know what it is. Mars likes to do speed paints, but yeah. But unfortunately, the built-in speed paint ability of speaking of Mars, have you been recording this whole time?
Oh fuck. Luckily, I got tons of other panels to color.
Yep.
We'll do the group shot. That's the money shot.
That's the money shot. And so because the in-bait, so it's not. It's no. Procreate did not show something naughty. No. So
Luckily,
the
no.
built-in Clip Studio Paint, you know, time-lapse feature doesn't zoom in, and we're working on very long canvases, so when it's zoomed out it's like this far and they're very small, and so it's like you're not zoomed in on where it is, where the speed paint is, so you can't really see it. However, Mars realized that if she just chain undo, she could then chain redo and emulate a speed paint, basically, by doing that, and record it with her phone while she did that. And this had worked fine
Brain guys.
for a long time. This worked really fine for a really long time. Yeah, exactly. It seems like you're working on 4 pixels. This worked great for a long time. However, Mars then went and did the chain undo with the intent to immediately chain redo and do whatever. However, she got a phone call from a friend and took the phone call. So she has undone all of the work that she did, and it's just sitting there in the limbo. And she did the phone call. And then, the computer goes to sleep. And that, like, the screen turns off. That's fine. And to wake it up, you know, you can do a number of things. But what she did is I can't remember exactly what you did. She either tapped pen, the tablet pen to the tablet, or she clicked on the trackpad, something like that, making an erroneous mark on the canvas. Yeah. And now for all you undo girlies out there, you know that the second you Mrow's dying.
Second you add anything.
Mrow's dying. The second you add anything, it's the new sequence. She's created a new timeline. So I'm not expecting any calls from Mars.
It was a group shot.
It took a long time. It was a big shot that she did. It was a long time spent. And I get
literally
literally, I get a call. It's like this time of night, and I get a call from Mars on Discord, and it's just like, Ori,
was it night or was it in the middle of the day before stream?
I don't remember exactly. It was at a random time, right?
I feel like it was a Sunday afternoon.
Maybe.
That's when my friends usually call me.
Okay. It was a Sunday afternoon. We'll say Mars is traumatized enough where she would know what exact date and time.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Exactly. And so she's like, Ori, so I did that. And she's like, explain. And I'm like trying to figure. She's like, is there like a backup? And I'm like, only if you set that up. And like, kind of, they're not great and all this sort of stuff. It's like this whole thing. And I'm like, okay, I finally like get cause she's freaking out, okay? She's freaking out. And I finally managed to get this full story from her because she's not telling me the whole story. I finally get like a chain of events of what exactly happened. And I go, okay.
Guys, if it's not speech or characters, I'm bad at explaining shit.
But I'm just like, okay, have you saved the document? Like, did you save your thing before you? She's like, I saved it right before I did all the undos. I'm like, okay, have you saved it since? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay, good. What you're gonna do is you're gonna save this as a different name. Anything else, I don't care. And then you're gonna go open the old save. And because she had saved right after finishing the thing, but before the undo, all of her work was still there. Now she couldn't undo back and do the speed paint thing, but at least the work was there and everything was saved.
Exactly what I ended up doing with that. If you go on my Instagram,
thank God.
Let me see. I know exactly which one it was. If you click on the group shot picture of Milano and everyone, and it has the audio of Soldier Poet King, but sung in a male voice, that was the video. I was gonna do speed paint version, but I lost all my work. I couldn't undo it anymore, so I was just like, okay, disappear everyone and make them reappear. There's my reel for the day.
Mars was definitely getting to that point, Mrau. I'm glad that I managed to save her. I'm glad that she called me and didn't just freak out. I'm glad that I was able to be there.
Yeah. I was literally sitting here going, no, fuck.
Yep. I was glad that it all worked out at the end.
No,
but like,
guys, this is what a panicked Mars sounds like. No, don't do this to me. Don't fucking do this to me. No. How? Oh my God, no, don't fucking do this to me.
Bloop, 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 bloop,
There was your life
reenactment. I'm sorry, but I need some Ori.
It was 3 hours worth of work. If I had to do it again, you know what it was? I think I had just finished Sinet, and he's got
you were
the tail
also like
straight
proud of it too. Like it was like a it was a triple kablammy, you know?
It hit so hard, guys, because it was a group shot. It took 3 hours to do. If you guys want to see the reel in question, I will share it. Because it's good, it's fun, I like it. Going to copy, and it's going in the couch.
But yeah, I'll never forget that one. That one's the funniest one to me. Yes, because it was timing, but we're kind of reaching the end of the night, so it was me trying to do like speed figure drawing of animals.
If you look at Sinet's tail, you will see why I was upset.
But I got kind of lazy. But yeah, it can be a real timer, see?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
He's very cool.
Okay.
Or you can't tell me you haven't had panic moments like that.
I've definitely, honestly, the biggest one was with the audio shit that just happened recently. That one's the most recent one I can think of.
Yeah, that one was pretty rough.
I think the other one I can really think of that definitely related to the comic was my mother she moved, I can't remember exactly what it was, but she like, I was working on the comic, and this is where like talking like the first iterations of the comic, like really, really early shit. And she like moved my computer and for whatever reason decided to unplug my flash drive, and the flash drive had the comic that was open on the computer being worked on, and she just unplugged it. And it corrupted the comic file that I had open. And it was like, thankfully, I had already uploaded it to Webtoon, so I could like take it back, but I no longer had the layers for it. I was very upset. There was tears for that one. There was, Mom, you're never touching my computer again. What do you mean? You just unplugged it.
You can't just do that.
Tire voices for an hour and a half podcast. That's a long time. Jesus, Morale. Whew.
Damn.
One time. So, cool. Hello.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
One time, I had Dylan record a bunch of like SpongeBob-esque time card phrases, and I had him record them directly into DaVinci Resolve. And then I was having like computer memory issues, and it was just, there was a lot of memory being eaten up by DaVinci Resolve. And I looked on the internet, and the internet was like, all right, how you do that is you delete these files. You don't need them. They're all fine. Don't worry. It's fine. And I'm like, okay, I trust you, internet. I really don't need them, except the audio files is part of that. And so I deleted all of that recording from Dylan. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's a major oof, Captain.
Yep. So now I never delete the audio files, and I also don't record directly into DaVinci, and I also, if I do have to delete stuff and I know I've recorded directly into DaVinci, I don't delete stuff until I know that I've uploaded that video. I finished the video.
And yet somehow we've still lost audio files.
Well, that's different, and that was for just completely unrelated things. I literally have no idea what fucking happened, because they were downloaded. I have proof they were downloaded. I'm gonna tell you, Mars. I'm gonna tell you. I bet they're somewhere. Yeah. If I'm really being honest, I bet they're somewhere.
They gotta be.
I bet I just can't fucking find them. You know, if I'm really honest, I bet they've ended up somewhere. And, you know,
they exist. They're just lost.
They just renamed something and unable to be found.
Little lost files.
Little lost files.
It's okay. We got what we need.
We did it again. We're on a little hiatus for it. And that's, you know, it is what it is.
We are committed. We commit to the bit, you guys.
Is there a husband's character art? Oh, that would have been so bad. I'm glad you found it. Whew.
Oof. That would have been rough.
There has been at least one Ace Attorney episode that I have not recorded on Craig at all. However, no one will ever know which one that is.
Ha ha ha.
Because it's not necessary, it's just better, if that makes sense. Craig is not needed to make it all work. It just means I can separate Dylan and Mars's audio, where without Craig, I can't. They're recorded on one thing. Okay, I think that came out pretty Fox in the end.
Ooh, yeah.
I feel like with Foxes, a lot of it is the coloring, the pattern. I feel like there's so much rather than the character's name. That's such a vibe now. I've never been the person to not name it any, like to like do the the keyboard smash names for stuff. I've never been that kind of artist, but I've definitely been the kind of artist to like name it something and then never go back and rename it. Like I drew a character for Dylan, and it literally, I'm pretty sure it's named like Dylan's Tiefling Wizard character. He has a name. I never went back and renamed it his name. And triangle ears, they're like kind of, I guess they are a little more triangle. We could make them a little more triangle. Maybe that's the problem. Ooh, how's that? Is that more fox now?
This Milano is done.
You do fox? Show the keyboard smash with personal art. When you're getting paid, it's super specifically named. I definitely name it more. I have like, okay, my problem is one time when I was unemployed, I had time where I literally sat down on my computer and I put in time and effort to reorganize all of my folders and stuff. So they've been reorganized. However, they're not fully reorganized because, God, that's a lot of fucking folders. So there's certain folders that are like stuff that still needs to be sorted. And then, of course, as you go on, you have to make new folders and they don't follow the scheme that you fit and you put them in other places, or you're just like, I don't want to deal with figuring out what folder I should put this in. Honestly, there's like 8 different folders things should go in. Like, honestly, I should reorganize it how I do differently, but I honestly should change how all of my folders, because I did it in a really wild, the thing is username, type of order, and commission number. Commission number, that's wild.
Ooh, you're very
I have like
organized.
folders for every person that ever commissioned me, so they're like within the folder. So I like named with the folders and stuff, and then name there. I guess your method is definitely better for like physically searching for it, but they're all like in the commissions folder. But I have like, because I did like I have like the Origami Curio Instagram. There's like different. Let's see. Is there anything sussy if I show my folders? Let's take a look first. No, I think we're good. We're gonna show my folders organization in a second. So we have the Origami Curio, the Origami Collection is what I call it. Right. So it's like, this is the folder that has all the shit that I do normal stuff, like all this sort of stuff with. And then, so these were named after like specific facets. So the cafe, God, now it's one of those things where, see, you have need to sort, right? This is stuff I didn't get to. So this is a section on my D drive, because if you go back, and again, let's vet first. Yeah, so you can't do it. If you go back one, you have like a lot of the system files. So you have like all of my downloads, you have like program related stuff. Like this is, I'm specifically talking about like, basically this is the art section is starting here. And it's cafe, I think it's Discord channel stuff. Yeah, so this is, I'm like a mod in these 2 servers, and I've done, sorry, these 2 servers. This is our server, and that's like, yeah, like event banners and stuff for things. And, you know, when I was being good about putting events in the Discord and all that sort of stuff. You have bingo. I don't even remember what these are. Oh yeah, these are for Discord stuff. So lots of Discord stuff. And then you have the channel. This is all our YouTube stuff. And that's into a bunch of things. As you can see, there's a bunch of stuff that just doesn't belong anywhere. The folder, there's already too many freaking folders here. If I'm being honest, there's too many folders. Lots of folders. Oh my God. Classroom is because I can't, there's always too many things that Ori wants to do. And this is for tree related stuff. So this is for my tree videos that I want to do. And that's all that stuff in there. So a different YouTube channel stuff. Comic is of course Outcast. So, well, comics is technically it would encompass other comics. This is another character referencey stuff, but we have Outcast, and this is all the Outcast stuff, which is in a bunch of folders. And oh my god, there's so many fucking folders. And then conference. What is conference? Conference is like
I think conference was like our business meeting stuff.
Yeah, conference is like business
Maybe?
related things. So I'm just checking. Yeah. So conference is like, so
'Cause we're
this has
very
our folding
professional,
planets profile assets. This is my other profile assets. So the VTuber PNG is here. No, it's not. It's in the other one. God. It's somewhere. I could find it in quicker if I actually was looking for it. I think is it in Classroom? Nope. I think it's actually, okay, it's in channel, it's in avatars, and it's in my avatars. Yeah, there it is. It's in, even though it's meant for Classroom, it's in my general avatars section. It's, so, Drow, it's, Mrao, blah, blah, blah. both is good. But it's after this course. So basically, this is a course that I had bought that I really wanted to do from an artist I really love. And when that's finished, we're doing my VTuber, man. We're doing it. She has been ready for so long. And then conservatory, yeah, so conference is a bunch of like profile asset related things, but unfortunately there's profile asset related things in the channel because that's Ace Tooney. And then there's profile, like, honestly, why are the folding planets thing in a different thing from the comic? Because that's I am gonna work on it on stream now. Yeah, it's gonna be this stream Thursday nights. So Thursday nights we do this stream now that's called Making Time, and it's basically, I have a lot of things I want to learn how to do. I have a lot of courses that I've purchased but never really gone through because there's only so much time in the day. And so while it is slow goings, because it's only 3 hours and once a week, it's still learning something. During stream. It's carved out time to learn things, and then once the VTuber model thing is done,
maybe you guys can learn something too.
Exactly. And once the VTuber model is done, that's when the 3D modeling will happen as well. And then there's definitely like maybe want to do animation things. We'll see where it goes from there. I technically have one other art course that I've purchased and not gone through to the fullest ability. However, it is very long, but it could force Ori to do it. We'll see what Ori feels like when we get there. But right now the big things are this course, because I was just so excited to do this course and it like just came out. And then it is the VTuber model and the 3D modeling. And then, yeah, and then conservatory, that's all of, like, other art things that don't fit into other categories. This is not what I want. Sure. Okay. There we go. This group had my face in it, so we couldn't show it. But we can now, because I fixed it. But, yeah. Oh no, I didn't fix it all the way. It's okay, it was small. Properties. Change icon. Okay. Beautiful. There we are, success. But yeah, so this is like literally all other art-related things. So I have like art fight. My art fights are here. With all this sort of thing for each year. Wild stuff. Soldering and desoldering surface-mounted devices on small electronics. Very interesting, Mrao. What is? Do you have a specific reason you wanted to learn how to do that, or are you just that was just something you felt like learning? And then this is all of the D&D stuff. Oh, is it? Buttons on your mouse needed replacing. Ooh. Oh, well, jeez. That's what you do. DIY, right? Ooh. Now we're not gonna get to the last animal, the aardwolf. Sorry, Mars. No aardwolf today.
That's okay.
We did get through a lot, though.
I am happy with the animals we did get.
We did. We got through the fossa. I'm very happy with this. Really like it. Think it did pretty good. Pretty nice. Then we have the badger, which is really just a loaf. The badger is so loaf-like. I mean, look at this thing. It's just a rectangle, you know? It's so loaf. We did some badger. Yeah, he does have side mohawks. He really does. And then we had the black-backed jackal. Oh, there's more jackal art you can't see. Well, not art, photos. The black-backed jackal. And lastly, we of course have the fox, which will be a marbled fox eventually, but they're just red foxes with a different coat pattern, so such is life.
Nothing too crazy.
Last thing I will tout is this site that is called iNaturalist.org, and that is where I got all of these photos from. And basically it is a website where people can upload photos they have taken of wildlife to have it ID'd up to like research grade. That like really like professionals
cool.
actually ID it to the extent that it can even be used for research that you need like animal sightings for.
Oh, that's
how
wild.
accurate it is. And that's where I got all of these lovely images from. They're all also copyright free to my understanding, but they're just really good. And do. Differentiations between canids are very, very tough to define. I also, the foxes in particular, I will find like jackals, coyotes, and the other one that I'm blanking on, wolves, Jesus Christ. Yes, no, 100%. Mrao, that was the other thing I wanted to mention. Sometimes, guys, it's really fucking hard to find actual real animal images because AI is so bad. I tried to look for a wolf once, and basically everything that came up on Google is AI, okay?
Gross.
This has specifically no AI because it is literally meant to ID animals. Now, I will warn, there is a fair amount of roadkill depending on what animal you get. So be warned about that. But overall, it's pretty good. But you know,
at least it's real roadkill and not AI.
It is
roadkill.
real. But so if you're sensitive, oh yeah, and there's poop and skulls and a bunch of other stuff. Oh my god, he got a ball. He took a dog ball. Look at that.
Oh my god.
But he looks really skinny. Poor boy. But yeah. So just do be warned about that. But basically you go up here and you can type. So, you know, I don't care about location. But you can type. They also do plants. But you can type like if I want to like gray wolf. So you just gray wolf. Click it. And then, yeah, these are all like, a lot of these are like trail cameras. Italian wolf is just a variety of wolf. Prints, they also do like paw prints. You can do prints, they have as well. I'm specifically on it for like the animal stuff. Yeah, you got poop, lots of poop. But yeah. But so it's like, ooh, this is a real wolf. Again, they're amateur pictures, so you do kind of have to like look through a bunch to get ones, but at least they're real, you know? At least they're real.
And that's what we like.
Some animals are certainly more commonly spotted, like, you know, the actual animal than others. Wolves are definitely not an easy one versus like, for whatever reason, the fossa? Man, they see fossas everywhere.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
would not think of fossas as common.
No. But look at all these. You know? You got fossa poop. This guy's not dead. He's just having a good time.
Jesus.
Okay, you missed Mars. I'm just gonna tell you all. I looked up badger, the American badger, There's a lot of roadkill, okay? A lot of roadkill.
Yeah.
That's
I
also
believe it.
very true, Mrao. Yeah, it's definitely like, it really does depend on the animal, exactly what kind of level you're getting. Like I said, the fossa, the jackal, really high quality. The fox, I had a lot of them, but the badger, I definitely had to scrounge through a lot of them to get some good ones. And like I said, a lot of roadkill. Very unfortunate, but that's just the warning. But, you know, to combat AI, I would use it. iNaturalist.org. But yeah. Very true, Mrao. Very, very true. It also just depends on, like, you know, if you think about the habitat of the animal, you know, wolves don't like people. So you're not really gonna see a wolf, you know? To my understanding, while fossas don't live near people, they don't really care if you come and you look at them, you know? Like, if you go into a forest with the wolves, they're gonna avoid you. Versus a fossa is like, I'm top of the food chain here. What you gonna do to me? They don't really know, you know?
Like,
I'm up in the
I don't give a
tree,
shit.
you know? So, all that sort of stuff. But, good stuff. Highly recommend iNaturalist.org. Take a looky-loo. That's where literally every single picture here came from. So, you know, you can find it if you spend the time, but it is just a little warning if you're a little squeamish, because I will say some of them are a little rough. Yeah. All right. Thank you all for coming, though. This will be the end of today's stream. We hope to see all of you, hopefully, but at least a lot of you tomorrow for our Ace Attorney, where we will be playing Miles Edgeworth's Investigation. Still the old original port DS version, as we were trying to beat the last case, Turnabout Ablaze. We're still in Turnabout Ablaze. I think we have about a third left, maybe? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think so.
I hope it's only a third left. I hope we don't have 2/3 left. But like, Jesus, it's been long. It's been a while. But thank you all for coming. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you to our lovely YouTube channel members. Thank you to any VOD watchers out there as well. And we'll see you all guys tomorrow. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.